We do know there's a pound of gold in Mike Church's studio, and all you have to do to win is listen for the golden sound of the day. Weekday mornings at 6 a.m. on The Mike Church Show at MikeChurchShow.com and on YouTube at Real King Dude.
For the last time, I'm pretty sure what's killing the crops is this Brondo stuff.
The Brondo's got what plants crave. It's got electrolytes.
So wait a minute. What you're saying is that you want us to put water on the crops?
Yes.
Water? Like out the toilet?
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be out of the toilet, but yeah, that's the idea.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
Okay, look, the plants aren't growing, so I'm pretty sure that the Brondo's not working. Now, I'm no botanist, but I do know that if you put water on plants, they grow.
Well, I've never seen no plants grow out of no toilet.
Hey, that's good. You sure you ain't the smartest guy in the world?
Yeah.
So let's go back.
Okay, look, you want to solve this problem. I want to get my pardon, so why don't we just try it, okay? And not worry about what plants crave.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
Yeah, it's got electrolytes.
What are electrolytes? Do you even know?
It's what they use to make Brondo.
Yeah, but why did they use them to make Brondo?
Because Brondo's got electrolytes.
So you got U.S. senators being exposed for having family members begging for money from Epstein. What the hell? It's Free Phone Friday, folks. Mike Church here. We are live asking the question of the day.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Well, I'll tell you.
Oh, and remember, Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day. So, you know, if you want to, go ahead and wear a Hawaiian shirt and jeans.
Friday.
It's Free Phone. It's Free Phone.
Yes, it is. Free Phone Friday. The day that you started working for at 6 a.m. Monday. To make it to 6 a.m. Friday. Call in line telephone number if you'd like to be on the program today. 844-527-8723, 844-5-Crusade. My email address, Same as it ever has been. Although I have been giving it out in vain this week. Nonetheless, we press forward. I am KingDude at protonmail.com. I am KingDude at protonmail.com. Crusader Stadium, Crusader Mike Church Show Stadium chat room open for you commentary at crusadechannel.com/chat. Here on a Free Phone Friday, next hour, we will debut the official television advertisement for the Win a Pound of Gold contest for 2026. A commercial that was $53,000 and 16 years in the making. 13 years in the making. I think you're going to like it, especially if you, because it's a spoof. It's basically an update or a parody of a previous very, very popular Super Bowl commercial. As a matter of fact, this particular Super Bowl commercial, when they poll people and ask them what their favorite Super Bowl commercial of all time is, this one falls in the top 10. So, no, it's in the top 5. So I think that you'll like it, and I think that you'll want to share it and forward it on to others. Well, that depends on whose side you're on. No, it doesn't have politics in it per se, but it does. Speaking of politics, so the U.S. Congress seemingly can't do anything to fix the problems that they were elected to fix for the American Shursons out here. But we can sure as hell navigate, or they can sure as hell navigate their way to trying to fix the problems of the people of Ukraine. And other countries. Like George Carlin says, you got some brown people in your country, don't tell them to watch the blank out. Tell them to hold their hand out. Because if they stand there and hold their hand out long enough and look pathetic enough, then our Congress will throw money at them. $9 billion is going to be sent to Ukraine that we don't have. $9 billion. Let's do the customary Mike Church Show review. What's $1 billion? Okay, well, $1 million, everyone can conceive of what $1 million is. Take 10 $100 bills, 10 Franklins or Bones or Simoleons or Clams or whatever it is you call them, dead presidents. Take 10 $100 bills. Okay, you got a stack about that big, not very big. Take that times 1,000. Okay, now you have $1 million. Just to put this in perspective, that's a lot of money to most people. That's a lot of money to anybody. So review, take 10 $100 bills, 10, stack them up, that's $1,000. If you took 1,000 piles of those, just imagine the time it would take you to make 1,000 piles of $1,000. Let that be a part of the exercise to put these things into perspective. Let's just say somebody just gave you a wheelbarrow full of $100 bills. You go, oh my God! And he said, but in order to keep it, you have to band it and put it into $1,000 piles. Wait, I got to do all of that. So you'd have to sit there and make $1,000 piles. How long do you think that would take you? How many days? Just to kind of put it into perspective. Okay, now you're at $1 million. To get to $1 billion, you have to take that $1,000, 1,000 piles of $1,000. Now you have to take those 1,000 piles and you have to make 1,000 of them. So everybody following along, and the scale of the thing. So now you're at $1 billion. So do that times 9. That's what the Congress of the United States is just going to write a check. Or they're going to stuff the money on an airplane, on a C-130, and fly it over there in pallets. Who knows? that we are going to donate and to give to the government of Ukraine so that they can buy more armaments, more drones, and kill Russians with it. Why is the United States, and I suspect it is probably an American drone company, probably owned by a Trump, or partially owned by a Trump, that'll get the contract to build the drones? That's how this scam is played. The American people out here get poorer, and the people that are connected to the Congress of the United States get richer. That's just the game. And people are sick of it. I think to the point where people are considering doing the things that they never considered doing before, and even talking about things like secede. Like they have never talked about them before. Can you blame people? You know, I was reading my old friend Brad Berzer. So the Berzer effect is about to go into effect.
It's already been in effect.
Well, the Berzer effect has been in effect this entire first week of June. We'll go down in the histories of Mike Church Show chat room as the most pusillanimous, worst week in its 19-year, not 19, and it's a 17-year history. So it won't matter if we had the Berzer effect because it's already here. Can we restore the public or the Republic? Berzer X'd yesterday or 2 days ago. Every spring semester, I have the excellent privilege of teaching American heritage to college sophomores. In that course, we go from Plymouth Rock. By the way, my daughter number 2 has been to Plymouth Rock. It's not a rock. It's more like Plymouth Pebble. It's literally about this big. You could pick it up. I'm surprised somebody hasn't tried to steal it.
How do you know they haven't? That's what placing it rock.
It's probably a second or third generation. Somebody probably did steal it. So from Plymouth Pebble to the fall of the Berlin Wall. As such, the story begins and ends in beauty and goodness. In between, though, there are some rough spots. Dividing the class into 3 parts, I focus on the colonial and revolutionary Republican heritage in part 1, the rise of evangelicalism, democracy, and racism in part 2, and the horrors of ideology, modernity, and progressivism in part 3. As I remind the students, we go from a golden age to an age of unrelenting horrors at home and abroad. Think for a moment about the sheer arrogance of democracy in its support of slavery, in its removal of the American Indian, in its internment of Japanese Americans. Indeed, as I've had the chance to argue elsewhere, democracy everywhere and always. Not surprising. I'm going to skip on that. Not surprisingly, as we discuss the rise of ideology and progressivism, a very good student always stands up and axes. Dr. Berzer, do you think there's any hope for America? My answer is always the same. Yes. And then he says, depends on my mood, the very hour in which I'm act. Some hours I'm deeply pessimistic and believe the Republic is long over. Some days I'm Reagan-esque and believe that we only have to remember what is true and all will be well. Still, the last few weeks have been trying ones for the Republic. Let's just list the difficulties. And then he talks about the war in Iran and Congress's impotence, as they just can't seem to do anything except stuff that you don't want them to do. You know, how does that happen, by the way? In a representative republic, that the body that is the representative, that is supposed to be the representation, doesn't represent. I realize this is an old evergreen sort of a question and sort of a topic, and it's not like we haven't talked about it before, but this time it was supposed to be different. This time we're supposed to, Trump's I gotta fix it all of it. These other countries have been ripping us off, and nothing screams making America great again like opening the door for American farmers, for example, to buy tractors and other supply from other countries, made in and by other countries. So you have all of this in this first week of June poured into this quagmire. You know, here's a big one, Maggie, that you said. I hope you hope that I have something to talk about. I did see this. Did you see that Trump pulled the plug on the music events, basically?
He's going to make it a rally.
Yeah. We're ending the Live 250 is going to be me 250. It's going to be a Trump rally. They were having such a hard time in getting any noteworthy musical act to commit to come into play to the big 250th celebration on the mall in Mordor on the Potomac that he finally threw the towel and go, okay, screw it then. We're not going to do a concert. It won't be live music. It'll be me. It'll be me. Me and Lee Greenwood will do it. We'll handle it. Oh, that's great.
I had that on your cut sheet 2 days ago. You want it? When he did his Miranda Devine interview.
Oh, is that when he said because I just saw it last night when I was blousing around promoting the release of the big Golden Truth Ticket, Golden Truth Kids ad.
Like, I don't even know who those people are.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, I've got it's a minute.
All right.
2 seconds.
All right, here. So this is how swimmingly well making America great again and how popular the president of the United States is, that on the 250th, it's supposed to be a big hoop-de-doo. This is supposed to be the biggest of all big hoop-de-doos.
Everyone should want to participate.
Celebration. You can't get people to come and play bad music at it.
The concert that you were going to do,
You know
all
what I
those
did with
musicians have fallen.
Yeah.
They're cowards.
People
aren't
no, it's not that. They get some free publicity. Look, they're not really cowards, but I never even heard of these people.
they? Right.
I never heard of any of them.
I never
They're
heard of
boring.
any of them.
I don't even want them. And when I heard a couple of them canceled out, I said, cancel the whole thing. I don't want to. We're going to do a rally.
Yeah.
And a rally, nobody's ever gotten crowds like I get at a rally. I had 118,000 people at one. I have 25,000. 25,000 is like a small
I want all
crowd.
87 counties.
And the only reason I only have 25 is because we have the basketball arenas. And
Right.
like at Madison Square Garden, I went to Madison Square Garden. Jim Dolan's the owner. He's a good guy, too. And he said he's never, ever had a crowd like. So the place was packed, and the crowds went down to the Hudson River and down past Fifth Avenue.
I was there. It was incredible.
They could have
Okay.
sold that out.
He's mistaken how popular.
I want 80%, 7% of all counties. I don't care if Riley Gaines comes or not. Tucker's washed up. He's interviewing British crackpots like this Frank Write 'em Up guy, whatever his name is. I'll do it. Me and Lee Greenwood will handle the whole thing. I'm very popular, you know. I packed MSG. Do you know what an MSG is? Not the stuff they put in your Chinese food. It's Madison Square Garden. Perhaps you heard of it. I packed it out. They were standing on line down to the Hudson River to come and see me. We'll fill it up, Miranda. We'll fill it up. Him and his war and his arrogance and narcissism have become so unpopular that the only person that will still talk to him apparently is Lee Greenwood. What is he going to play? I am proud to be an American are we going to get the live unplugged version on acoustic guitar with Trump singing backup? I mean, think about this. 2 days ago, there was a soundbite on the cut sheet that, what was it, Maggie? $25 billion, or was it yesterday, in Medicaid or Medicare fraud. Still out there. Or J.D. Vance is going to get rid of all of it. I think it was 2 days ago it was on the cut sheet. Can I just ask the simple question here? And I think it's a fair question. How is it that is allowed to? I just told you how to get to $1 billion. We just went through the exercise of how to get to $1 billion. How do you have $1 million in fraud and not know about it and do something about it? You know, if you follow Attorney General Liz Muriel, the great state of Louisiana, hardly a day goes by when that woman is not throwing some shyster in jail because they stole $65,000 from Louisiana Medicaid. And it's discovered that, and it's the same, it's the same scam as the Leering Center in Minnesota. So the fraud is not limited to Minnesota or California or any other state. We have it here in Louisiana. And rather than wait for the feds to do it, our attorney general's literally on a crusade to find the fraudsters. To go through, just do audits. You just do audits, and then you go through and you go, okay, wait a minute. What is this? I could just make a name up. What is this? A Canadian Fried Chicken medical health outfit. What do they do? And then she finds. Then she goes out and arrests them. Folks, this is not why a general government of the United States was founded. We'll be back.
You want your talk radio shaken.
Do you expect me to talk?
Not stirred.
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
Truth never dies on the Veritas Radio Networks. Crusade.
I think I'll go to sleep and dream about piles of gold getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Here's a piles and piles of gold fun fact. When the Trump administration began, an ounce of gold cost $2,750. At the 17-month mark, with his Iran war and MAGA inflation, it's at $4,500. Now, we don't know where the $1,750 price difference went, but we do know that Mike Church has 1 troy pound of gold in his safe, and that he's going to give it away on July 2nd. And even if you're a neocon in MAGA clothing, you can still win it.
Win Mike Church's Pound of Gold. Tickets on sale now exclusively at winnapoundofgold.com. Reposting Laura Loomer lies forgiven. Pardons sold separately.
One of my favorite books is Jim Collins' Good to Great, and lots of people have benefited from reading it, including me. But few people have read his follow-up book, How the Mighty Fall. Now, over the course of the last 18 years, has been quite the feat of survival to avoid becoming one of the fallen, but survive we have. And guess what else survived? The world-famous Dude Number t-shirt, which began in 2007. Now, to kick off the relaunch of this elite membership club, we announced a brand new t-shirt design, a brand new certificate of authenticity, and access to numbers that have only recently become available. Here's Jim to tell you how to secure that Dude Number that's unique and special to you.
Just head to MikeChurch.com/dude for all things Dude Number, including purchasing your 2026 version of the world-famous Dude Number t-shirt. That's MikeChurch.com/dude and join America's morning show, The Mike Church Show, and the Red, White, and Dude Nation's elite membership club. That's MikeChurch.com/dude.
In 1983, ZZ Top made the song
Crazy about a shark dress man.
And it was true from the time that song came out till around 2010, when girls stopped going crazy over a sharp-dressed man because men stopped dressing sharply. Cargo shorts, flip-flops, and tank tops became all the rage for men's public casual wear, to say nothing of how they dressed for mass. Well, as my listeners and viewers know, there's hardly anything more important to me than being a
sharp-dressed man.
And to help you become one, I'm introducing the official necktie of the Mike Church Show, Proselytize, whose designs are not only striking, they're 100% Catholic. You will look fantastic and like a sharp-dressed Catholic man in your Proselytize neckties. Available now in the Mike Church Show haberdashery at shop.mikechurch.com. Shop for ties, caps, t-shirts, and much more in the Mike Church Show haberdashery at shop.mikechurch.com.
The Mike Church Show has been the industry leader in promotions, giving away 5 cars in the last 8 years alone. But nothing can prepare you for the greatest giveaway event in broadcast history. Coming June 8th. holding a PhD at the KingDude Center for Constitutional Studies. The My Church Show, delivering over 180 minutes of teleprompter-free entertainment, wisdom, and knowledge every single day.
Take your baby by the hand and make her do a high handstand. And take your baby by the heel and do the next thing that you feel. We were so in phase in a dance all days. We were cool on craze. When I, you, and everyone we knew could believe, do, sharing what was true. Oh, I said.
You know, Frank Wright talked to Tucker Carlson yesterday. We have some Frank Wright highlights. Frank keeps talking about the 90s. Well, you know, Tucker, it's hard to, difficult to compare today to what it was back in the 1990s. Well, think about this, Frank. This song is from 1986. When this young British band, I think they're British, the Wang Chung Boys, came out with Dance All Days. And what are Dance All Days? We talked about this yesterday when we talked about Michael Quincon's piece about social silence. Which, by the way, I had a chance to reread the last half of it yesterday afternoon, and it's really good. You know, I think that he may have published it on his own site, because he is the editor of American Affairs. So you might be able to find it there. I know a significant part of it is in yesterday's Mike Church Show, Wednesday and Thursday's Mike Church Show transcripts. But in his silence, because we talked about it, and about what damage the digital world and these blasted infernal smartphone devices have done to the body politic, if you will, and to most people, because there is a serious lack of direct human communication. And I'm not breaking any news here. But in any event, Frank likes to wistfully talk about, how it was in the 90s. And yeah, the 90s were good. I did very well in the 90s. I had a great time in the 90s. My daughters were born in the 90s. My son was born in the 90s. So it was a good decade. Well, I think the 80s was better. So, you think about this, and they say, you can never go home. You can never go back in time. You can't turn the hands of the clock back. Yes, you can. If it's an actual analog clock, you can. Just grab the minute hand, just grab it, and just turn it to wherever you want. But the point that he's making is valid. It's very valid. And I saw Tucker just kind of watching Frank. And by the way, Maggie, did you notice? You? I'm sure you caught that Frank was in the Frank cave with Tucker. I thought he was going to a TV studio in London because it was a big deal. No, he was in the Frank Wright Rosary cave, which is fantastic. And still, I will wager you, if that ever happened to me, and I was in the same room, that Middlesbrough would, number one, the games would all be removed. Number two, the walls would be painted. Number three, there's a rosary on display. It'd be a beautiful one, and you'd see the whole thing. But Frank is just so unassuming that he just left his soundstage the way it was when I interviewed him for the first time 6 years ago. And I love that. I just think it's so it's so endearing. It's almost like Frank Wright just doesn't care. Oh, you want me to dress my home up? No, it's fine just the way it is. But in any event, think about the point that he's making. That and I know why he picks the 90s, because it was the end of the Thatcher era, and it's when the bad guys came to town in Britain and did to the people of Great Britain what our Congress is currently doing to us. And there are revolts. So this kid, this Norwich kid, or young man that the British cops basically killed on the streets of London, as he is literally contra George Floyd, saying, "I can't breathe." And they literally suffocated him, where he literally suffocated. Did you see that outside that police, what?
He drowned in his own blood.
Or drowned in his own blood. Did you see that outside of that police station, there were, 5,000? I don't know. It's hard to get a camera angle that shows the whole thing, but the people, Restore Britain people, literally showed up with pitchforks and torches, or the modern equivalent of it, and they had a line of cops outside of that building. I think that the only reason why the protesters did not get inside of that building is because of their own will. Is because it's illegal, and they just we're not going to do like what you do. And here, let me bring something else up. It's a Free Phone Friday. It's my show. I can talk about whatever the hell I want. I want to talk about this. Because there are things happening out there that I think there was an opportunity. Catholic confessional state, anyone? I'll just interject at this point. Stop thinking you can fix Congress. Stop thinking you can fix Parliament. You can't. You need a restoration of a previous system. Maybe you can improve upon the system of government during Christendom and the ages of faith. Why not? But they need to be restored in some fashion. As I said yesterday, God here, your laws here, looking this way. That's just the way it works. God here, your laws here, looking this way. Oh, wait, look, it's a glass ceiling. Oh, I'm a woman in the 1980s. They can't crack too. Jeremy Clarkson, Clarkson's Farm, Season 5, Episode 3? 2. I think it's 2. I think it's 2. No, it's 3. It's Episode 3. So if you've been watching Clarkson's Farm, it's a new season now. The British Parliament decided, in the House of Lords, mother, decided that they were going to try to finally exterminate the people that grow the food for that the people of Britain eat. And so they foolishly and arrogantly, in a very Trump-like manner, decided that, we're just going to a 30% off-the-top tax. But it would only apply to farmers who have £1 million worth of worth, which is almost every farmer in Britain. And so the family farmers are going like, I have $1 million in machinery alone that you force me to catalog so I can pay taxes on that. That's part of the farm, and that's part of the net value of the farm. And you already know this. So they passed this tax, 30% off the top. And most of the farming that is done in the United Kingdom and Great Britain, in England, en Angleterre, as it were, most of it is done by medium-sized family farms. And so when they got wind of the tax, they were like, well, that affects almost all of us. So they had this massive protest outside of 10 Downing Street, outside of Whitehall, as they call it. I'm just guessing at the size of the crowd. 10,000, 12,000, I don't know. Didn't get an estimate, thousands. And they were all speaking about how this is going to ruin us. I will be forced to sell this farm. I don't have 30% to pay. The thing that caught my eye, though, was not just the visceral, almost hatred of their own government. I mean, it's the revolutionary times here. Was the signage. They basically had English versions of the signage that the Danish used to overthrow their government when it tried to tax nitrogen. Remember this? This is what, 2023, I think? When the Parliament of the Netherlands, I said the Danish, so the Nordic people, the Parliament of the Netherlands, and I think the Danish Parliament, I think there was a couple of them, passed, and they were trying basically to become all climate zero. They're trying to kill all net emissions, so no carbon emissions. And so they said, well, one of the ways we can get at this is just to tax nitrogen. And then have nitrogen basically a cap and trade scheme where nitrogen is basically made illegal, and if you make any of it or you use any of it, you got to pay us. And that way, we'll just shut them all down. Can you just imagine this, folks? Talk about Malthusian wackos. You have governments now in Europe. How long before it happens here? Oh, it's already happened in the United States. That are literally trying to kill and to drive out of business the people that make the food that the people in the nation eat. So there's this massive protest. And it's on episode 3, season 5 of Clarkson's Farm. And people get up there and speak. The one guy that got up and spoke was like, I'm going to read you a list of the things that make up my net worth that puts me over the £1 million. And he said, and as he's going down the list, he goes, raise your hand out there if you have any of these. And of course, everyone's hands goes up. And then Jeremy Clarkson gets up there and says, I just want to know, of all the people that are here, the thousands upon thousands of you wonderful farmers that are here, raise your hand if you consider yourself to be a family farm. All hands go up. Now, lower your hand if you think you can escape the £1 million net worth farming tax. No hand goes down. So that's what is, that's just kind of a snapshot of what's going on in Great Britain. And Frank Wright didn't even talk about that, about the war on the farmers. He's just talking about the war on people in speech, primarily here. You know, if we go back to Brad Berzer and the piece that I was writing about, does the American Republic have a future? And he says, can we restore the Republic? You know, Berzer goes down the list. Third, the levels of corruption in America are at record-breaking levels. According to the federal government itself, that's the General Accounting Office, nearly $500 billion. That's, yes, $500 billion. Now, we did the exercise in the first hour. I'm not going to go through it again of how to get to $1 billion. So everyone can try and conceive of what $1 billion is, which you really can't. Okay. $500 billion in theft. I find myself asking the question, and I've been asking this for 20 years now. My answer is still the same, and I come to the same conclusion. What does this entity exist for? It's certainly not for me. It's certainly not for you or most of you. It's not for your flourishing or mine. So what does it exist for? It exists to fund that client class that has favor with people that are in government. It's as simple as that. They literally is an industry. You know, if you go back to usdebtclock.org, what does it say the GDP is right now? Here, let's do it. usdebtclock.org, because it tells you what it is. I saw it the other day. Where? Okay, there it is, right there. Center of the screen. U.S. gross domestic product. Currently 32 trillion, 185 billion, 205 million, $400,000, approximately. The federal government this year proposes that it's going to spend $7 trillion of that. So if you take $7 trillion and divide it by, I'm going to get a percentage here. We won't do 7 trillion. We'll just do 7 million. 7 million and divide it by 32 billion. 22%. That's so, and I don't know if the U.S. GDP includes what the government is spending. I think that that it is included. It should be included because it goes to people. The $7 trillion primarily goes into the pockets of Americans. 22%. Now, currently, what is the debt? The debt's $39 trillion. So the debt is more than the GDP. Now, the people in the government that's responsible, that let's just pretend like it's a business. The business that is responsible for that, could this business right here, Black Hat Studios, could I survive that kind of recklessness? And that kind, and that's the scale of that debt? No, I couldn't. I'd have to fold the tent. So why do we have an ongoing discussion about, well, we got to get the right kids in there in Washington, and when we get the right people in there and we just change out the A's and the B's and replace them with the C's and the D's, it'll all get better. No, it won't. It's false advertising. It's the same ad scam every 2 years and then every 4 years, and it never does. It just remains the same or gets worse. So is it any surprise then that there is a lack of enthusiasm other than buying a T-shirt for America's 250th? Let me ask you a question right now. How many of you are planning to go and do something for the 250th? Show of hands out there. Bueller. Nope. Anybody planning to? Are you going to go visit Mount Rushmore?
No one can afford it. You can't afford the gas to get to Mount Rushmore.
It's okay. You're going to be able to afford it. The Iran war, I mean, the Iran incursion is going to end. They're going to make a deal, or we're going to do it the other way. But the other way, you can't do it the other way. You know, Miranda Devine even asked Trump, he goes, well, can you do this without, there won't be any land troops, there won't be a ground invasion, no land troops. Is he just lying to cover the planned ground invasion that Push Up Pete and the neocons are planning for your sons and your daughters to go get killed in? Or does he actually mean that? Because he can't possibly think that you can finish him off. We're going to finish off Persia. King David himself couldn't do it. No one will ever have seen anything like it. Candace Owens is washed up. I won 87% of the counties. Did you know that when we wipe Iran off of the map, King David couldn't even do it. The Israelites had a grand army and they couldn't do it. The Philistines couldn't do it, but we're going to do it. No one's ever going to see anything like it. We're going to do it. We're going to finish them off. You can't finish them off because they have our number now when it comes to flying
Super high-tech jet fighters
over that country. You can't finish them all because our
super high-tech jet fighters
are going to get shot down. So is it any surprise that there's a lack of enthusiasm? People going like, it'd be interesting to see, and I wish I knew someone that owned a Crazy Carl's or Crazy Eddie's fireworks stand. To get the year over year, are they planning for bigger and better fireworks sales? Just out of curiosity? Or are people going like, dude, I can't even afford to drive to Crazy Carl's. It's across town. If I can't get DoorDash, hey, that's a good one. Does DoorDash do fireworks? Well, DoorDash go and because you don't want to be social, you don't want to go meet anyone. You're stuck in your home, glued to your smartphone, or your pad, or your computer. Just DoorDash too. I think it's a fair question, don't you? This portion of the program brought to you by the Dude Gear Store at shop.mikechurch.com. We will deliver beast and butt rub and also chicken mamu seasoning and Acadiana steak seasoning and an apron to your home for Dad for Father's Day, moms, wives. So shop with us today at shop.mikechurch.com. Don't forget to stop by the Mike's Haberdashery Store for proselytized, beautiful Catholic-inspired neckties, for my T-shirt collection, our button-down Dickie shirts, and much, much more coming to the Haberdashery Store. And then the Louisiana Merch Store. You could get Dad a Cajun cookbook. You could get him a roux spoon and tell him to get busy. So all on sale right now. Don't forget Maggie. Okay, I don't want to say it wrong. What do you do to the oyster shells? Decoupage. Decoupage. You know, me and my female, centered brain want to say décolletage, but it's decoupage. Handmade oyster shells. Moms, while you're shopping for Dad, treat yourself. Get one of Maggie's handmade hand decoupage. Oyster shells, as we say here in Louisiana, in the Louisiana Merch and the Rosary Collection section at shop.mikechurch.com. So Berzer says, third, the levels of corruption in America are at record-breaking levels. According to the federal government itself, nearly $500 billion of public monies is lost every year to fraud. With such levels of fraud, one must ask, is this accidental or intentional? That is the fraud actually part of the system? Brad, Dr. Berzer, yes. Yes, it is. It's absolutely a part of the system. You know, we've talked about this. This is how the Democrats distribute the wealth. Go open a Leering Center somewhere in Minnesota or wherever, and you don't actually have to do anything. You don't even have to go there. We'll shovel the money there. You get 20%, we get the rest. Just send it back to my campaign. That's how it works. 4, in the last several weeks, it's become orthodoxy among prominent Democrats to call for the packing of the Supreme Court. Crazily, the Supreme Court is the only branch of government actually doing its mandated duty in constitutional fashion. It's the one branch not out of whack and by far the least politicized of the branches. If the Democrats get their way, it's game over. Well, no, it's already game over, I think. I think it was game over a long time ago.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over. What are we going to do now? What are we going to do?
Yeah, what are we going to do? They will have completely destroyed the last remnants of the Republic and the Constitution. There will be no recovery from such a move. Truly, the crisis is existential. Finally, the levels of federal debt are beyond comprehension and almost, but not quite, beyond solvency. Our debt level is now equal to GDP. No, it exceeds GDP times 3. How on God's green earth can we escape any of this? Fair question. So let's go back to the question, Berzer says. Can the Republic be restored? Is there any hope? At the moment, as I type this, I'm feeling somewhat hopeful. That said, it's worth remembering, as all conservatives should, that real change at any level of society takes immense time. I'm just going to repeat what I have been saying all week long here. You have to do it. You. Not Buckshot. He's down there. You. I have to do it. The political class is not going to fix what they have broken. So they need to be removed from power. The system either needs to be brought to an end and a turn to a new one begun, or I don't know. You tell me. But no, the American people have to fix it. Where does that start? Starts at your family dinner table.
shovel and dirt and not even worry about getting hurt. Ain't that tough enough? Ain't that tough enough? Ain't that tough enough? Ain't that tough enough? Work 24 hours, 7 days a week, just so I can come home and kiss your cheek. I love you in the morning.
The Crusade Channel, talk radio the way it should be. Broadcasting live from Madisonville, Louisiana, and streaming 24/7 at crusadechannel.com. You know what makes radio horror and sci-fi dramas that much better? Listening to them in hi-fi. Yeah, the Crusade Channel sound is good, but it's not THX sound good. But you don't need it to be to enjoy over 800 episodes of the greatest sci-fi classics called Suspense. Catch 2 hours of suspense weekdays at 11:30 a.m. exclusively on the Crusade Channel.
One of my favorite books is Jim Collins' Good to Great, and lots of people have benefited from reading it, including me. But few people have read his follow-up book, How the Mighty Fall. Now, over the course of the last 18 years, it's been quite the feat of survival to avoid becoming one of the fallen, but survive we have. And guess what else survived? The world-famous Dude Number t-shirt, which began in 2007. Now, to kick off the relaunch of this elite membership club, we announced a brand new t-shirt design, a brand new certificate of authenticity, and access to numbers that have only recently become available. Here's Jim to tell you how to secure that Dude Number that's unique and special to you.
Just head to mikechurch.com/dude for all things Dude Number, including purchasing your 2026 version of the world-famous Dude Number t-shirt. That's mikechurch.com/dude and join America's morning show, The Mike Church Show, and the Red, White, and Dude Nation's elite membership club. That's mikechurch.com/dude.
I think I'll go to sleep and dream about piles of gold getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Here's a piles and piles of gold fun fact. When making Raiders, Spielberg chose the Golden Ark of the Covenant because he knew audiences wouldn't go, ooh, ah, if Nazis stole a parchment scroll containing a psalm. Now, we don't know where the lost Ark is, but we do know that Mike Church has 1 troy pound of gold in his safe, and that he's going to give it away on July 2nd, and you don't have to say, ooh, ah, to win it.
Win Mike Church's Pound of Gold. Tickets on sale now exclusively at winapoundofgold.com. Ark of the Covenant sold separately.
Hi, folks, it's Mike Church, founder of Founding Father Films, asking you to learn the true stories of America's founding by purchasing my movie, The Road to Independence, the movie. The Road to Independence tells the exciting story of the Founding Fathers' struggle to declare independence.
Gentlemen, the Committee of the Whole has voted to hear Mr. Dickinson's proposal on...
Mr. President, enough of the talk of petitions.
Mr. Adams, you will respect my rules, sir, and stand...
This animated movie comes complete with collector's booklets, DTS surround sound, and are packed with hours of bonus features. Learn the true stories of America's founding and order Mike Church's The Road to Independence on DVD and CD. Available now at mikechurch.com/DVD and by calling 844-527-8723. Hey folks, Mike Church here. You know, when I was a little cheerins, I remember loving the old Dunkin' Donuts TV spot. You know, the one with the guy who got up at 3 a.m. mumbling to himself as he went out the door and then back in his front door.
Time to make the donut.
Well, fast forward 46 years and now I'm the guy waking up at 3 a.m. mumbling to myself as I go in the studio door, then back out. Time to make the radio. I made the radio. But I have a secret weapon the Dunkin' Donut dude didn't have. Mike Church's Capuchin Holy Roast coffee in whole bean or ground. Our fresh, aromatic, gourmet coffee is made from 100% fair trade beans, freshly imported, roasted by my friend Kyle and his daughter at the Abita Roasting Company, then delivered to you so fresh your kitchen will smell like a barista shop. Good. So, whenever you arise to take on the day and listen to the Mike Church Show, do it the Red, White, and Dude Nation way by brewing up a fresh pot of Capuchin Holy Roast or my all-new Capuchin Holy Roast New Orleans blend coffee and chicory at shop.mikechurch.com.
I think I'll go to sleep and dream about piles of gold getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Here's a piles and piles of gold fun fact. The first gold rush wasn't in California or in Alaska. It was in Dahlonega, Georgia in 1829 and lasted until the last gold mine closed around 1910. Now, some people say that there's still gold in them there Georgia hills. We don't know about that, but we do know that Mike Church has 1 troy pound of gold in his safe, and he's going to give it away to one of you on July 2nd.
Win Mike Church's Pound of Gold. Tickets on sale now exclusively at winapoundofgold.com. Vacation sold separately.
In 1983, ZZ Top made the song and it was true from the time that song came out till around 2010, when girls stopped going crazy over a sharp-dressed man because men stopped dressing sharply. Cargo shorts, flip-flops, and tank tops became all the rage for men's public casual wear, to say nothing of how they dressed for mass. Well, as my listeners and viewers know, there's hardly anything more important to me than being a sharp-dressed man. And to help you become one, I'm introducing the official necktie of the Mike Church Show, Proselytize, whose designs are not only striking, they're 100% Catholic. You will look fantastic and like a sharp-dressed Catholic man in your Proselytize neckties. Available now in the Mike Church Show haberdashery at shop.mikechurch.com. Shop for ties, caps, t-shirts, and much more in the Mike Church Show haberdashery at shop.mikechurch.com.
Southern conservative Catholic America is in the fight of its life, and the great white hope, Mike Church, has just entered the ring. The Mike Church Show.
Hey guys, you got a minute?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
It's about my dad. He wants to have a sex change operation.
Whoa, I knew he was gay. I didn't think he was that gay.
No, Peter, he's not gay. He's a woman stuck in a man's body.
Yeah, gay.
No, it's totally different.
Sounds the same.
Well, it's not.
Okay, so he wants to be a woman so he can be a lesbian?
No, he'd date men.
Gay.
Yeah, gay.
Okay, this is not the help I came over here for.
Well, look, let's just all agree that he's odd, huh?
He has an appointment Friday with Dr. Hartman to have the procedure, and he wants me to go with him. I don't know if I can handle that.
Well, I'm sure your friend Peter would be happy to come along for moral support.
All right, but look, here's the deal. Anything he lops off, we get to bring home for Brian.
That's very green of you, Peter.
Let's do it! You gotta beat the clock, you gotta beat the clock.
You can boogie, love disco, love that disco sound. Move up your body, spinning round and round. But don't forget, oh no. Don't forget, oh no. The stars are 45, keep on turning in your mind. But we can work it out. Remember, twist the shout. You'll still not tell me why, and no reply.
Sugar. Oh, honey, honey.
How you doing?
You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. Honey. Sugar, sugar. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. This happened once before. I came through your door, no reply.
doing daily combat against AI and the synthesis of all tyrannies. I am your Generalissimo of the Airborne 1776, leading combat on land, sea, and on air. The Mike Church Show is on. This portion of the program brought to you by the Dude Gear Store at shop.mikechurch.com and the Dude Nation member service at mikechurch.com/join. So if you're getting this feed wherever, on X, on YouTube, on our terrestrial radio network, on mikechurch.com or crusadechannel.com, you should become a member of the Red, White, and Dude Nation and sign up for a Dude Nation medal level membership. Start at bronze, go to silver, then go to gold, go to platinum father or rhodium elite, the highest level there, and join the Red, White, and Dude Nation. You get access to this program 24/7, 3 rebroadcasts per day, 1 live broadcast in full duplex stereo, baby. The transcript from the program, which is the most complete transcript in all of the biz, that's a member-only feature. The podcast of the show at podcast.mikechurch.com, the best playback podcast player and service, all 11 seasons of this show. 11, I think it's 11, at podcast.mikechurch.com. So sign up today, easy to do, starts at $10 a month, mikechurch.com/dude. All right, we are just a few minutes away from the world broadcast premiere of the Golden Truth Babies ad, which is what we're calling it. And I've kind of teased you in the last couple of days by playing the ad that we parodied or that we based it on. So you Sharpies out there can figure this stuff out. I want to do something else, so before we do that, let's play some Frank Wright. Frank, our pal Frank Wright has some newfound fame here lately, and has been interviewed by Piers Morgan now and several people on GBTV, your usual suspects in British podcasting, lovey. And now by Tucker Carlson, who was a very gracious host as he sat there and laughed at all Frank's jokes. But it's great that Frank has gone mainstream, if you will. At least right-wing wackos, Catholic or semi-Catholic, mainstream. Now, he's always been with LifeSite News for the last 4 years, I think. And, of course, we have been interviewing Frank since the Corona doom in 2020. So here he is with Tucker yesterday talking about why this liberal democracy system, it's digital media file number 5, Maggie, it's just not going to work. So why put any more energy into it? It's deceitful, it's deadly, it's lethal, it's not liberal anymore, it suppresses liberty. Certainly is suppressing religious liberty. So here's Frank with Tucker yesterday.
You became aware of you, like most people, fairly recently when you were interviewed as a man on the street, as we say here in the United States, and gave this kind of beautiful explanation of your concerns. And so we pressed a little deeper, and I want to read back to you a couple of quotes from a series that you have started that I will be watching. But I want you to explain, if you would, what you mean by this. And I'm quoting. "We live in a belief system that no one believes in anymore, and it has created a terminal crisis that it can't escape alive. We have been trained in a way not to see the elephant at all and to call the mess it makes of everything progress." And then finally you write, "What is ending now is not the world, but the world as we knew it." What system are you describing?
Well, I'm describing the system that was marketed to us as liberal democracy, which we've been led to believe deliberately, because the system rules us by media, is the acme of human organization. It's like the verdict of history. And we've all kind of accepted that this is the only way we can live. But in fact, that system was intentionally put together over 100 years ago. And as I've explained elsewhere, it is the God that failed twice. And it was there to replace the civilization that we had before, and the tremendously destructive opportunity of the Great War and then the Second World War provided, if you like, the opportunity to install this system in place of the European civilization that we'd inherited from the monastic system of the church over 1,000 years ago. So what we're doing now is we're realizing that the beliefs that we've been supplied by this system no longer explain the world. And the crisis that this system has created isn't just national or local, and it is local to you and I, and it is in both of our nations, but it's worldwide. And there's a collapse of belief in the system. And I would like to remind people that it is the foundational technique, rather it's central to the political technique of the 20th century, to manufacture belief in your own system. The system manufactures belief in itself through every form of a cultural production. I mean, you know, the things that you buy, the disposable items that you have, the terms and conditions that are increasingly offline as well as online. When you notice that this is everywhere and it's infused into practically every transaction, and life is a series of transactions now in the main in this system because it's nihilist and it's consumerist. So then you notice the remarkable fact that you've never noticed that you're policed by a total ideology until it starts to fail. And it's failing now. It's not working for all of us. You know, in one of the most divisive times in human history, socially and culturally, everyone can agree that everything's getting worse and there seems to be no answers from within that system. And that's because the system is the problem.
So I think if I can add a coda to this, here's my coda. The coda is this. The people that designed the system designed the system to report or to change the system. In other words, they baked into it that it can't be repaired. It appears as though it can be repaired. Oh, we can go off and you can, every 2 years, you can go and have this election thing and to get rid of this guy and to get rid of that guy. But I'm going to get my kid in there. We're going to have a hot dog boil with chili and the kids are going to play baseball and what have you. They baked into it. I think that this is key to understand this. They baked into the system the fact that it can't be repaired. And that the repair is actually just an addition to the system. You know, there are a few people that are roaming in the countryside these days that get this stuff right. James Fishback is one of them. And when Fishback talks about this, and he talks about things, you can't explain the disaster we're currently living in via public policy because the means to understand it also have been taken over by the destroyers. This is what I am trying to communicate, what Frank is trying to say. When they gain control of the schools, you know, we've talked about this for decades now. When they gained control of the schools, it was over. Because if you get to program what it is that the young skulls full of mush absorb as education, you can bake into that the necessity, if you will, of the system itself. That's what Frank just said. So it's an illusion. You've trained 3 generations now. Here in the United States, four. You've trained 4 generations now to believe that we are the people we have always been waiting for. You know who used to say that? I think it was Tom Woods used to say that at events. We are the people that we've always been waiting for. But we're not the people we've always been waiting for because we can't fix anything. We got so bad at mechanics, we had to have cars designed that fix themselves or use once and destroy. As an example of this in mechanics. So what he's telling Tucker there is, most of you know this. Most of you know it, you feel it, you internalize it, but you don't think that there's anything wrong with it until you get black-pilled. You know, it used to be, I'm the guy that invented the red pill. I took it from the Matrix in 2007. I still have the T-shirt that I show to people from time to time and go, you're not the way, you didn't invent red pill. In the popular vernacular, I did. It was the red pill T-shirt has 1776 on it. The blue pill T-shirt has 1913. And you get to choose. Which one do you want? You want the 1776 pill? You want the 1913 pill? When you put it into this perspective and you think about it from that point of view, that they have baked into the system the means to basically control. And how do they control? Well, they got the media. They have the education, they have the cultural institutions, and then they work their way into the Catholic Church. When they worked their way into the Catholic Church and they began captivating territory, if you will, which was capturing the hearts and minds of Catholics, many bad ones that became priests, some of them became bishops. Some would argue that one of them became Pope. Some would also argue that one of them is now Pope and that he's totally a modernist. And that even though he's Leo the Lion, he's the next in the line of Leos, he's not acting very Leonite. So how to fix this? Well, again, I just offer up the question. Catholic confessional state, anyone? And people laugh at that and go like, that can't possibly happen. Well, because you're thinking Maine to Baja, Spokane to Key West. Think where you are. And think Catholic confessional state. And what is that? As St. Robert Bellarmine would answer, where you got three choices. You got monarchy, you have oppressive, you have aristocracy or oppressive oligarchy, and then you have the worst of all, you have democracy, okay? We're currently stuck in between these two. We don't have any of this. We're stuck in between these two. If somebody asks you to go to a polling place and vote today on keeping the federal government in its current iteration and in its current size, shape, and scope, and the way that it supposedly protects and defends the U.S. Constitution, you'd vote yes or no. Steve Cunningham, you'd vote yes or no?
I'm voting to get the heck out. As Don Livingston said, we got to break this thing up and convert it.
I think that the point is that I don't think it's possible. I think that maybe in South Carolina you might be able to fix it. Look at your state where you're at in North Carolina right now. How awful is it in North Carolina? As a matter of fact, in North Carolina is where the tranny mammies got their foothold, and Charlotte, in the Queen City in 2016 with the bathroom ordinance. Remember?
Yeah. This I'm reading 3 books that are. Is it the Red Pill, the eye opener one? I forget your book. Davis a Traitor. Defending Dixie by Clyde Wilson.
Yep.
And then Human Scale Revisited by Kirkpatrick Sale.
Yep.
I don't think you can read all 3 of those and not come out going, great googly moogly, this is nuts what's going on right now.
Kirkpatrick lives near you. He's in the Carolinas.
I'm thinking about reaching out to that guy because, just that human scale thing, even though I don't think he's with us on most other things, but on scale, we're lockstep, baby.
Well, I'm pretty sure he's on the board of the Abbeville Institute. And I know that you've interviewed Professor Don Livingston. Don's he's a high Anglican EO, but Don's probably Professor Livingston, author of Rethinking the American Union for the 21st Century. He's about as solid as you're going to get.
Yeah, no, Clyde wrote in 20. I just read it. It was it was in the chapter about the state flag of South Carolina. And it goes into everything that everybody was going after, the flag on the dome. And it's like 8 different articles that he wrote. And he's going, here's the most conservative state in the Union attacking its own. Because when you brought up North Carolina, I'm thinking, oh yeah, after the state flag incident, then it's not surprising on anything. Yeah, the bathroom bill. I remember McCrory. I was in Colorado at the time. McCrory was the only one fighting that. And it was because the NCAA and everyone else was banning was the boycotts and all that. And he finally went in, and that was a bill. That was a bill in Raleigh. You got to go to the bathroom of your sex. Wait a second. That's 10 years ago. You guys went nuts. Now everything's. It wasn't because it was. It's like, what's going on? You don't want to. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot in a second. Going, come on. Seriously, this was what you guys were going nuts about 10 years ago. Now was a bill in probably by Stein and all those guys that would be on Team Brandon. That was like, yeah, we got it. We want to make sure that women are protected in the bathrooms. So what was all that about?
Well, it started in Charlotte. So the Charlotte City Council decided that it was going to make the bathrooms unisex or what anyone could go, and so they passed the bathroom ordinance. And it was like a week in, or maybe 2 weeks in, that some little 8-year-old girl went to the bathroom, and her mother's just didn't get a right feeling about it. So the mother goes, "I'm gonna go check on her." Goes in there, and the stall next to where her daughter is closed as well. And so she gets on the ground and looks underneath, and she doesn't see any feet. But the door, she goes to jiggle the handle, the door's locked. There's a dude in there standing on the toilet, looking down at her daughter, and that's what started the whole revolt. And then North Carolina passes the anti-bathroom ordinance, the anti-tranny mammy bill, as I call it. And then, you have your usual suspects in rock and roll, Hall & Oates and Bruce Springsteen, we're canceling our contract, we're not coming to your stupid state. That's what started it all.
Bruce, it broke my heart reading Clyde because he talked about was it Clyde that did that, or was it McClanahan? Someone else, might have been McClanahan bringing it up. That Hootie and the Blowfish, where the guys leading the chart, one of the guys leading the charge against the flag. I didn't even notice a crack rear view. I love that. Was it track 6 is all about the flag? Going, oh man, I used to hang out with those guys.
Yeah, you can't escape. You can't get away with it. Okay, the reason that Steve is here, we'll talk politics some more in just a moment here. But the reason that Steve is here is because the Mike Church Show and the Crusade Radio Guild and the Crusade Channel are putting together this thing called the Golden Truth Ticket. 2026. So last year we gave away 1 troy pound of gold, pure gold. And the prize last year was just a little south of $38,000. Right now, if you go to winapoundofgold.com, you'll see that the prize is just a little south of $54,000. That's what 1 troy pound of gold would go for today. Now, just for poops and giggles, so everyone's on the same page, a pound of gold is not 16 imperial ounces. Get that out of your head. If you have a silver round coin, that is a troy ounce. It's not an imperial ounce. It's a troy ounce. To make a troy pound takes 12 of those. So everyone, just a little educational thing here. So to kick the contest off, which you will have a chance to win a free ticket, which costs $50, and then you'll also have the chance to double that purchase beginning Monday with the soundbite of the day. It's an old school radio contest, and we'll do it on Sensus Fidelium on the Sensus Fidelium YouTube channel as well. We put a commercial together. So this is the TV ad, the world premiere. No one has seen it yet, of what we're calling it's called the Golden Truth Kids. So let's introduce it in royal regal fashion here. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum.
So yeah, sorry about last night.
I just don't understand why you didn't call.
Well, I was in the chat room, diversifying my calling moves, taking control like a wolf.
Right.
What's that? That's winning gold in the contest. Taking care of it Trump style. My God.
And that waraholic Laura wasn't over?
Laura?
Wara what?
Play the Win a Pound of Gold contest at winapoundofgold.com.
Laura?
Laura? Full disclosure, I provided the Trump voice, and because I couldn't find an actress in time because it just came up with it on Wednesday to do the baby Melania voice. I just took it from the original commercial. It's actually kind of scary. Fed it into I had to go through 3 AI synthesizers. So I finally found one that actually cranked it out. And then I put the script into it and I went, holy moly. She sounds exactly like whoever the actress was that did the original Baby Girl. And then that's how the whole thing came about. You can, of course, see it at Sensus Fidelium on YouTube. It's youtube.com/@Sensus Fidelium. And on our YouTube channel, at The King Dude. It's just kind of a fun way to kick the whole thing off and to get a lot of people interested in the contest. And if you'll remember, that was a Super Bowl ad from 2012. 2012. Every time they do a survey, and the last time they did a survey and asked people to pick or to list their top 10 Super Bowl commercials of all time, that ad finishes in the top 5.
It has to be, yeah.
Yeah, so people will remember it, and they'll remember that version. They'll remember the original version of it. Now, when they see ours, the Golden Truth kids will think of us. Steve, we're going to take a quick time out. Can you hang?
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll be back in just 3 minutes here, and we'll continue this thrilling conversation here on the Mike Church Show on the Ethics in Broadcasting Network.
I think I'll go to sleep and dream about piles of gold getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Here's a piles and piles of gold fun fact. In 1971, if D.B. Cooper had jumped out of an airplane with $200,000 worth of gold instead of U.S. currency, he would have $25.4 million in gold bullion today. Now, we don't know where D.B. Cooper's money is, but we do know that Mike Church has 1 troy pound of gold in his safe and that he's going to give it away on July 2nd. And you don't have to jump out of an airplane to win it.
Win Mike Church's Pound of Gold. Tickets on sale now exclusively at winapoundofgold.com. D.B. Cooper and Cocaine Bear parachutes sold separately.
Membership has its privileges.
American Express was right back in the 1970s. Membership has its privileges, and no membership privilege is greater to a Red, White, and Dude Nation listener than membership in the elite membership club that is the Dude Number. Here's Lee to tell you how to get yours.
That's right, King Dude. Membership does have its privileges. And when it comes to the Dude Number, applying for membership has never been easier. Just head to mikechurch.com/dude to start the membership process. Your unique and one-of-a-kind membership and all the privileges that come with it awaits you. As a member, you'll enjoy private chat groups, VIP privileges to all Mike Church Show events, early access to new Dude-geared store items, and of course, your unique Dude Number.
Dude 1210 reporting all quiet on the Eastern Front.
This is Mike's favorite punching bag, Dude number 13.
Hi, this is Steve. My Dude number is 2112.
Dude number 2004, proud member of the Red, White, and Dude Nation reporting for duty.
Become a part of something bigger than any talk show there is and apply for your Dude Number today at mikechurch.com/dude.
Membership has its privileges.
The Crusade Channel and the slaves of the Immaculate Heart of Mary's Sisters present the Saint of the Day.
Hello, Crusaders. This is Sister Maria Filomena with your Saint of the Day. June 5th, St. Boniface, died in the year 755. His name in English was Winfred, but he later adopted the Latin name Boniface, which means he who does good. He entered a Benedictine monastery at the age of 5. In 719, he was sent by Pope Gregory II to be the Apostle of Germany. He reconverted that whole country to the faith and many of its neighboring countries as well. At 75, he set out with 52 companions to finish his work in the conversion of Friesland. And on the occasion of a third journey to Rome, he was invested by the sovereign pontiff with the powers of legate of the Apostolic See. As such, he founded 4 bishoprics and held diverse synods, among which is especially to be remembered that of Lucine, held in Belgium, in the Diocese of Cambrai, at which time he made his strongest efforts to spread the faith among the Belgians. By Pope Zachary, he was named Archbishop of Mainz, and by command of the same pope, he anointed Pepin to be the king of the Franks. After the death of St. Willibrord, he undertook the government of the Church of Utrecht, at first by the ministry of Eoban, but afterwards by himself, when, being released from the care of the Church of Mons, he established his see at Utrecht. The Frieslanders, having again fallen back into idolatry, he once more betook himself to preach the gospel among them, and while he was busied in this duty, he won the palm of martyrdom, being slain by some impious barbarians who attacked him, together with his fellow bishop Eoban, and many others on the river Bourne. In accordance with the wish expressed by himself during life, the body of St. Boniface was carried to Mainz and buried in the monastery of Fulda, which he had been the founder, and which he has rendered illustrious by numerous miracles. Pope Pius IX ordered his office and Mass to be extended to the Universal Church. St. Boniface, pray for us. Thank you for joining us for this brief summary of the life of today's saint. Tomorrow's saint is Saint Norbert. To access all of our Saint of the Day recordings as podcasts, head to crusadechannel.com/saints. You can learn more about our sisters and contribute to the building of our convent by visiting stphilomenaconvent.org. I'm Sister Maria Filomena, and until next time, God bless and Mary keep you.
Do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call. Because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at crazy low prices. They have access to great prices and discounts at over 500 different airlines. Plus 300,000 hotels and rental car companies. Their prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find the best price for you. Call SmartFares today and get ready to see the world with a fat wallet.
800-313-7757. 800-313-7757. 800-313-7757. That's 800-313-7757.
The Mike Church Show has been the industry leader in promotions, giving away 5 cars in the last 8 years alone. But nothing can prepare you for the greatest giveaway event in broadcast history. Coming June 8th.
Hey, Mrs. McGillicuddy, don't be a satellite radio snob and pass by the Mike Church Show. Come on in and browse.
May I help you?
Oh, no thanks, just browsing.
How long do you intend to browse?
Well, that lady there, you didn't ask her how long she intends to browse. How come you're asking us how long we intend to browse?
You don't look like browsers.
Now that that's over,
How about a Fresca?
the Mike Church Show, entertaining browsers and fans since 1992 on the Veritas Radio Networks. Crusade.
So yeah, sorry about last night.
I just don't understand why you didn't call.
Well, I was in the chat room, diversifying my calling moves, taking control like a wolf.
Right.
What's that? That's winning gold in the contest. Taking care of it Trump style. My God.
And that waraholic Laura wasn't over?
Laura?
Wara. What?
Play the Win a Pound of Gold contest at winapoundofgold.com.
I do feel, Reg, that any anti-imperialist group like ours must reflect such a divergence of interest within its power base.
Agreed. Francis? Yeah, I think Judith's point of view is very valid, Reg, provided the movement never forgets that it is the unalienable right of every man or woman to rid himself or herself. Agreed. Thank you, brother. Or sister. Where was I? I think you finished. Oh, right. Furthermore, it is the birthright of every man or woman. Why don't you shut up about women, Stan? You're putting us off.
Women have a perfect right to play a part in our movement, Reg.
Why are you always on about women, Stan?
I want to be one.
What?
I want to be a woman. From now on, I want you all to call me Loretta.
What?
It's my right as a man.
Well, why do you want to be Loretta, Stan?
I want to have babies.
You want to have babies?
It's every man's right to have babies if he wants them.
But
You can't have babies. Don't you oppress me. I'm not oppressing you, Stan. You haven't got a womb. Where's the fetus gonna gestate? You're gonna keep it in a box?
Here, I've got an idea. Suppose you agree that he can't actually have babies, not having a womb, which is nobody's fault, not even the Romans, but that he can have the right to have babies.
Good idea, Judith. We shall fight the oppressors for your right to have babies, brother. Sister, sorry.
What's the point?
What?
What's the point of fighting for his right to have babies when he can't have babies?
It is symbolic of our struggle against oppression.
Symbolic of his struggle against reality.
Baby Groot.
Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong?
Welcome back, Marcus Tullius Meridius Maximus Augustus. Mike Church here with you on the Mike Church Show, 35 years young. Longest running, long-form, continual radio and TV program on air anywhere in the world. This portion of the program brought to you by the Dude Gear Store at shop.mikechurch.com. Get yourself a pair or a trio of my seasonings. Beast and Butt Rub, Chicken Mamu, and Acadiana Steak Seasoning at shop.mikechurch.com. Great gifts for Dad for Father's Day, ladies. Don't forget the Catholic-themed proselytize and 16 different styles right there at the same place. Shop.mikechurch.com. Shop in the Mike Church Show haberdashery department, which is brand new. Pick you up some haberdash. And in the Louisiana merch store, which is also brand new. I keep waiting to hear from someone that picked up a roux spoon and actually used it correctly, which is not hard to do. So again, your purchases support the Crusade, Radio Guild, and the Mike Church Show, and the Red, White, and Dude Nation and Network here. So this is a coffee mug. There's only 3 of these left. These are handmade by the Mountain Arts Pottery Company in Helena, Montana. Can't get one of these. You can't get them to make you one. It'll take you 8 weeks. So we started with like 60. We're down to like 4. You'll never buy another coffee, bourbon, beer, vodka mug again. So, like I said, there's only 4 left in the Dude Gear Store at shop.mikechurch.com, and you can fill it up with our Capuchin Holy Roast coffee as well. All right. Let's go back to the StreamYard hotline here. We'll pick up on the conversation that we were having with Steve Cunningham of Sensus Fidelium about, okay, well, what do we do? This is the question, or this is, I think, the line of interrogation, if you will, Steve, that most people don't touch. Okay, everyone knows the problem. Everyone can bitch and whine and complain and moan about the problem. Everyone knows what the problem is. Almost no one proposes a solution, outside of our buddy Jeb Smith, for example.
Yeah, the circle of solutions is very, very tiny.
This big. No, that's too big. It's that big. That's too big. It's that big. Actually, it's in this chat right now. If we had Jeb in here...
Like Father W has a little thing about putting that little dot on Holy Trinity and say that's already too big. That might be us too. That little dot might be bigger than everyone that talks about this. No, I jest because there's more people talking about it. It's it's I don't know. It's really hard. It's like I don't want to call it a heresy, but it's like talking to somebody that's embraces a heretical thing. We're brought up. I'm sure you would say the same thing when you were a lad. Putting your hand across your heart. You gotta say the pledge, and it took us decades to figure out that it was written by a socialist.
Yep.
And then the back behind it. But if you tell somebody about that, they're going after these guys. I get it that the guys playing for the San Antonio Spurs probably aren't doing the same mindset as us, but everyone goes, I can't believe they didn't put their hand over their heart and stand at attention for the national anthem. I mean, before 1920, 1930 in sports, no one even played. It was like the seventh inning stretch. I mean, he was like, hey, you're getting a hot dog and you heard the anthem going on. No one cared. But now, remember was the Green Bay Packers Super Bowl? It was, you have to be, this the end all be. Everyone's got to be out on the line because it was a military thing. They had to promote that. I remember, was it in the book God Save the Fan? It was nobody should read it because it's kind of scandalous. But it was talking about how, like in New York, that every day after 9/11 was 9/12.
Was 9/12.
If you had to go potty during the God Bless America, you were forced to stand at your seat and then had to wait for the song to get over to go bathroom. So it's this forced thing on the all hail the state, the religion is, and you hear the lines about this is holy ground, and like Chris Ferrara put up in the Liberty of the God That Failed about the feast days that are literally the anti-church. That we have Memorial Day, which is like the church's version of All Souls Day, Veterans Day, All Saints Day.
That's right.
Yeah, Christmas, Independence. It's a whole parallel thing. And then this isn't trash and everything that we see, but it's like, hey guys, there's other. Why? It's like the whole Matt Walsh thing. I mean, he's putting out videos. The top quote unquote conservative group about slavery, about the war, about I can't believe they're even doing it. I mean, 20 years ago, nobody you're a big Rush fan. I mean, Rush would never touch these topics like.
Well, he was a Lincoln lover.
Yeah. Hey, not saying Rush is a bad person, just saying that we hear Fox News, they're all going to be Lincoln guys. It's all going to be centralized. It's all. You come out of state-run education camps, indoctrination camps, you're going to become a statist.
Yes.
Because that's what they want you to be. And then you look at it from a different angle, and you're talking to different people. And then, I mean, I'm in a bunch of group chats, and they'll tell you, I can't believe this is going on. I go, break up. What do you do when you don't like a friend anymore? You break up. You don't talk to them anymore.
Well, here, I'm going to give you a headline. Okay, we're going to play a little game. I'm going to give everyone a headline here at home, watching at home, wherever you're watching. Okay. I'm going to change the headline and see if you hear it the same way. South Carolina House passes bill authorizing new Ukraine aid and Russia sanctions. The South Carolina House of Representatives voted on June the 4th for a bill making available how much? $8 billion. $8 billion in loans for Ukraine and NATO allies to purchase new weapons and military equipment, and directing a large range of sanctions on Russia. $250 million of that goes to Radio Free Europe. So I changed United States to South Carolina. How far does that get in a committee? In South Carolina. It doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah. They might be a nice idea, but it ain't going anywhere.
$250 million from the U.S. Congress to fund Radio Free Europe. How about Catholic Free America Radio? Can we get $2.5 million to fund Catholic Free America Radio? No. So the U.S. House of Representatives just continues with Republicans in control. Just continue to just thumb their nose and just go like, we're going to do what our elitist client funders told us to do when they sent us here. Whether that's pouring out aid and intellectual and fake moral coverage for the genocide in the Middle East in Gaza perpetrated by Lindsey Graham's favorite country on earth, Israel, or whether it's continuing a war against the Russians, this proxy war against the Russians on behalf of who? NATO? So you want more dead Russians, more dead Ukrainians. Let's pour some more money into it. This is insanity. There was no one in the medieval ages, from the time of Christ to Churchill, or to from the time of Christ to Lenin. Let's draw the line at Lincoln, who even could have considered some of these things. They wouldn't even have, they couldn't have fantasized about them, and yet here we are. I don't have a mechanism to stop this. You don't have a mechanism. Oh, you can go and vote. It won't matter. It doesn't matter who you send there. It's irrelevant. It's immaterial. They're going to do what they're going to do is the point. And so my point is we need to stop talking and we need to start doing. And you need to talk about it. And talking about secession is not enough, Steve. You got to, Solange Hertz had a book, The Heresy of Americanism, right? Here's the heresy of Americanism. Here's God. Here's the U.S. government. Okay? Well, in the scheme of things today, here's the U.S. government and here's God. This is exactly upside down. This is wrong. Well, God can't do anything because the U.S. government won't let him. No, it's supposed to be you can't do anything unless God says in his law that you can. This is a simple way to look at it. Does a law conform to the law of God? If it does, and you insist that you need it, okay, well then go ahead and pass it. If it doesn't, and running up debt, usurious debt, and children who haven't, in the name of children, your kids, who haven't even been born yet, or the ones that have been born, is immoral. It's immoral. It's sinful. So this is the simple question. Are you ready to restore God here and law here under it? And that's really all you got to. That really is the size of the project. And if you can agree on that, then I think you can fix the problem. If you don't agree on that and don't agree that it's paramount and it has to be done, you're going nowhere. So just get used to it. If you think this is fun, giving money away to Ukrainians and Israelis, well, then just keep doing what you're doing. And I don't want to hear any complaining, bitching, and moaning about it.
You remember Hamish Fraser, right?
Yes.
The name?
Yes.
One of he had in Keep the Faith has a couple audios of him, and he mentions how he was a communist, and if anybody doesn't know, he was a communist, and then converted and became a staunch anti-communist, telling people, "Hey, this is what we were doing." So he was talking about how they make these cells all over the place to infiltrate areas and turn them commie. And he mentioned at the end, he goes, "Why don't we do the same thing that we did back when I was a commie? We Catholics get together and put cells all over the place." I'm convinced that could happen, but Fulton has that great line of, they, talking about Russia, have all the fire and no truth. We have all the truth, but no fire. We talk a lot, but when you get into the game, is what goes into like, how come we don't have many more of us running for mayor, running for city council, running for county council, running for the governorship? I mean, I was thinking about the, you hear about college football, basketball, you have the tree or wherever, or NFL, you have like the coach, and he has all these branches where all the guys that become head coaches become popular. Where's the KingDude tree at with all these guys going, hey, that guy's over there running governor of New Mexico. That guy's over there in Virginia. This guy's over in Minnesota. And they're changing the shape of the states. And then all of a sudden we got 12, 15 guys now taking over the states and telling the general government, no, we're done. We're not doing this. That's a cute bill. No, it's not happening. Or, like what Fishback is doing, talking in Florida. I mean, I'm just waiting for him to, I think he's an incorporation guy a little bit, because he mentioned about having to, take over, have the second, I will protect the Second Amendment. I go, dude, it's Article 1, Section 8, Florida Constitution. You have a Florida Constitution.
Yes.
I was doing a show one time, and I read 3 state constitutions on air. One guy was from Oklahoma, goes, I've never seen that before.
Oh, we have one in Louisiana, too. We have, not only do we have it, we now have a provision or a provisio or whatever you want to call it in the Louisiana state constitution that basically says you can open or close, you can conceal or open carry. So it's interesting, though. We have regulations on concealed carry. Open carry is like, dude, if you want to wear a holster and a gun in the state of Louisiana, go ahead. If you're not a convicted violent felon, you can go ahead and do it. If you want to carry it underneath, we'll put it under my waistcoat here, right? You strap it right here. If you want to do that, you got to go take a class. You got to have a license. You got to get fingerprinted by the sheriff's department. So they want to know if you're concealed carrying. But yes, there is a Second Amendment, the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed in the Louisiana Constitution of 1812. There's one in your Constitution in North Carolina, too. There's one in South Carolina. Almost every state has one. Here's an interesting thing. Read the state constitution of Kentucky. Read their Second Amendment. So if you're in a corporation Nista guy and you think that the Second Amendment is universal from here to the ice world of Hoth and back, and it covers every living thing and every living sovereignty on the continent, I challenge you, go read the Kentucky State Constitution of 1894. They revised it, and their Bill of Rights, they updated their Second Amendment clause, basically. Go read Kentucky's Bill of Rights Second Amendment clause. And then come back and tell me that the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution is ultimate and supreme. Because the Kentucky State Constitution of 1894 says that they reserve the right, or reclaim, or reserve, I think it says reserve, the right. They basically amended it to say that, yeah, it's universal carry inside the state to protect yourself and what have you. But we reserve the right to write laws to keep blind people and lunatics that escape mental asylums from purchasing and owning weapons. They claimed it in Kentucky. Now, how could they claim that in 1894 if the Second Amendment is a universal right? You know, the only person that wrote about this was not Justice Scalia. It's in Thomas's dissent in the Heller case. That's where I learned it. It's in Thomas's dissent in the Heller case. So if you don't believe me, believe Justice Thomas. So yeah, incorporation is just stupid. And people fall for it. It's almost like they want it.
It sounds good. It's the whole central idea. We got it. It's the one nation. I haven't gotten to the chapter yet. I can't wait when Bledsoe goes after the one nation thing.
Oh, yes.
So I bet it's great. But it's the whole one nation myth. It's I still talk to, like I said, big name Catholics, and they'll go, well, our nation, our country's this. They'll text the country's going to hell in a handbasket. And I'll just respond, I have an idea.
And then you get crickets in response.
Yeah, so the whole scale thing, isn't it? You would think all these smart guys would figure that out. Makes sense. Going, hey, this is too big. I mean, it just makes sense. And we don't have. I mean, they'll say 300. Like I think Trump said the other day, we have 350 million people. We only get these guys that are running one. No one looks and says, you know, why do we have 350 million people? I mean, it's the whole big is better thing. We have to bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And all of a sudden, we're a fat blob on a couch. And
that's right.
Now you see where it is. I mean, here? Kirkpatrick Sale has a great quote. I had up right here. The law of government size. He had a maxim: economic and social misery increases in direct proportion to the size and power of the central government of a nation or state. Hey, where's the happy index for all of us?
Well, here's the response that you get from those Catholic influencers that you just mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, is there anyone alive out here?
You know how I found Jeb?
How did you find him?
Did I ever tell you how I found Jeb?
No.
A friend of mine in a signal text sends me this link going, Steve, you're going to like this. I look at the link. I won't tell anybody what apostolate had the interview. First time I heard the guy, I'm going, holy cow, I recognize this language. Let me pass this around. And a couple of days later, I'm trying to find it on that channel. I'm going, it's not there. Where'd it go? I had to click it, go back and find the text before it disappeared in Signal, and clicked it again. Going, it's unlisted.
It's unlisted?
It's on the original one. The first one I saw is it's still unlisted. I'm going, do you not agree with what he's saying? And this is a guy who's a big Trump guy. And I had questioned, like, what do you think about the Trump bucks, the Trump accounts? You're against socialism, you're against communism, right? Yeah, 100% across the board. Okay, defend Trump accounts. I'm still waiting for that response.
Okay, well, I would say that the defense of the Trump accounts, if you want it, is that Trump accounts can't happen unless they happen privately. Yeah, the government can't do it. And believe me, I cheered it on when it happened because I was still drunk on the MAGA Kool-Aid. And I went, oh, no, I can make you a constitutional case for it. But not if the general government manages it. And I think, Steve, that what it was, this is an attempt to lock in a Social Security program for the children being born right now who aren't going to get any. Because the thing is, the older one is going to go bankrupt. We all know that. So it's an attempt to just make a new one and then have people go, throw their it's noon. So throw your Mordor and the Potomac River prayer mat down and bow. Find out what direction the Washington Monument is and bow and do their bidding here. We're going to have to wrap this up. But we could talk about this all day, and we will on Monday because we're going to do this all over again when we roll out and formally introduce the Golden Truth Ticket 2026 contest. Your chance, if you're listening or watching right now, your chance to win a pound of gold. Now, somebody's going to say, how do I know you're actually going to give it away? Because we gave it away last year, and I have the video. I have the video of the dude I sent it to, Chris Payne of Kentucky. And Chris made a very funny video when he got the gold coins. It's a long story. I won't ship it this year. Our sponsor is Revelation Gold. So they're going to handle all of the gold-related matters, including if you want to buy silver between now and then go to revelationgold.com/KingDude and get it from our title sponsor. But yes, you'll have a chance. I'll play a soundbite on Monday, sometime between 6:30 and 7. And then Maggie will spin her little wheel and say, be caller number, whatever. And then later on in the day, you're not going to know when. You have to listen to the Crusade channel. You'll hear it played again. Be the appropriate number caller, whatever caller. Oh, I'm caller number 7. And then you get the free ticket. You can only win one, though. It's limited to one. And that's $50. Now, I've sweetened the pot this year. If you want to double that, we'll give you 2 tickets. That's $100 and 2 chances. It only took one of Chris Payne's tickets to win that gold last year. So you can double your chances to win the pot of gold, literally, by going to MikeChurch.com every day, every weekday, sometime afternoon or so, and watching the Mike Church Show highlight video of the day. In that video will be a card, and in the card will give you the special password of the day. Give that password to Maggie when you claim your ticket because you're the right caller, and then we'll give you 2. So that's how you can win a free ticket. Sunday or Monday mornings at 6 a.m. tickets go on sale. You can get one for $50. There's a limit of 10,000. I think we'll probably sell out. So if you want to get in, go to winapoundofgold.com. And again, 6 a.m. Monday morning, the ticket window opens and you can get your tickets. Steve, I want to thank you for being the co-sponsor. Looking forward to having a great contest. And you meeting a lot of Mike Church Show listeners and viewers, and me meeting a lot of Sensus Fidelium viewers and listeners.
And no, thank you. The pleasure's all on my side of the table, sir.
That's a little line from Office Space there. Oh, no. Pleasure's all on this side. I appreciate it, brother. Hey, man, how's your brother, Father Cunningham, doing?
I guess he's good. He's all over the place. I mean, he's in Richmond, Virginia, and at St. Joseph's. But I guess he's just busy. He's the head honcho at that parish, so it's taking up all his time, I guess.
So he was at Dallas for a while, wasn't he?
Was it?
Well, he was in Baltimore, then he was in Dallas.
Uh-huh.
He was at
Correct.
St. Alphonsus Liguori in Baltimore.
Right.
And then Mater Dei in Dallas, and now he's in Richmond, St. Joseph's.
St. Joseph and Richmond. Yes.
And that's Michael Hitchborn and Chris Ferrara's church. That's where they go.
Yeah. I think Hitchborn. I know Hitchborn goes there. I think
Ferrara
Ferrara
does
him more than I do. So I think he's there too. There's quite a few guys that I know that. Oh, I go to Richmond too. I'm like, man, this is like 50,000 people go to Richmond.
Well, they have like 3 masses every Sunday at St. Joseph. It was a Lutheran church that they took over.
Really?
Ask your brother. It's church in the round. You wouldn't like it. It's literally church in the round. They FSSP'd it up. It's got the right statues and and everything else, and they put confessionals in the back. So it's beautiful, and they have a campus there because there was built the Lutherans built a school, so they have they have a school attached to it too. So with a giant playground, it's if you're ever in Richmond, it's worth the visit. St. Joseph's in Richmond.
I don't like driving 5 minutes up north from here, so if I ever get the Richmond.
All right, Monday, winapoundofgold.com. Steve Cunningham, Sensus Fideum. Thank you, brother. God bless you. Mary keep you. Today is whose feast day? Oh, St. Boniface today. So thanks to everyone for listening and watching out there. We're going to take a time out, be back with our final hour of the week here on the Ethics in Broadcasting Network here.
Station.
Fiorella is the literary savage who skips sensitivity training. She is the librarian who reads and reviews books so you don't have to.
Hello and welcome to the Fiorella Files. On my show, I will be introducing you to books, classic and contemporary, that you must read, should enjoy reading, or should not touch with an 11-foot barge pole.
10 to 11 a.m. Central every Monday on the Crusade Channel, our app, and always on crusadechannel.com. Live talk and podcast radio.
The way it should be.
Membership has its privileges.
American Express was right back in the 1970s. Membership has its privileges, and no membership privilege is greater to a Red, White, and Dude Nation listener than membership in the elite membership club that is the Dude Number. Here's Lee to tell you how to get yours.
That's right, KingDude. Membership does have its privileges. And when it comes to the Dude Number, applying for membership has never been easier. Just head to mikechurch.com/dude to start the membership process. Your unique and one-of-a-kind membership and all the privileges that come with it awaits you. As a member, you'll enjoy private chat groups, VIP privileges to all Mike Church show events, early access to new Dude-geared store items, and of course, your unique Dude Number.
Dude 1210 reporting all quiet on the Eastern Front.
This is Mike's favorite punching bag, Dude number 13.
Hi, this is Steve. My Dude number is 2112.
Dude number 2004, proud member of the Red, White, and Dude Nation reporting for duty.
Become a part of something bigger than any talk show there is and apply for your Dude Number today at mikechurch.com/dude.
Membership has its privileges.
Learn about today's Saint of the Day in the Saint of the Day podcast at crusadechannel.com. Now a look at more of today's lifestyle headlines. The Department of War has officially removed 180 faiths from its list of recognized religions, acting on a change previously announced by War Secretary Pete Hegseth. The U.S. Military Chaplain Corps previously recognized over 200 faith codes that service members could claim affiliation with. That number now sits at 31 as of yesterday's memo from Undersecretary of Defense Anthony Tata. Tata's memo says the change will streamline the collection of religious preferences for service members to enhance the delivery of targeted religious support from the chaplaincy. The new list does include agnostics, Buddhists, Hindus, Muslims, Judaism, Sikh, and a wide range of Christian-based groups like Baptists, Catholics, Lutherans, and Methodists. The previous system had ballooned to well over 200 faith codes. It was impractical and unusable, and many codes were never used at all, Hegseth said in March. He went on to note that the vast majority of military members fit under just 6 of the faith codes. Alongside that change, the Pentagon also directed serving chaplains to replace their rank insignia with their religious insignia. Scientists are warning that Washington's Mount Rainier could unleash a catastrophic mudslide that has the potential to devastate 3 large towns within minutes. Often considered the crown jewel of Washington postcards, the over 14,000-foot tall mountain is thought to be the most dangerous in the U.S. due to its towering height, frequent earthquakes, and precarious location upstream of a population center with over 100,000 people. Rainier's 25 major glaciers harbor more than 5 times as much snow and ice as all the other Cascade volcanoes combined, meaning that just a minor thaw could trigger a lehar of apocalyptic proportions without warning, writes the New York Post. I'm Janet Huxley for the Mike Church Show and the Red, White, and Dude Nation, because ethics in broadcasting matters.
I think I'll go to sleep and dream about piles of gold getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Here's a piles and piles of gold fun fact. When the Trump administration began, an ounce of gold cost $2,750. At the 17-month mark, with his Iran war and MAGA inflation, it's at $4,500. Now, we don't know where the $1,750 price difference went, but we do know that Mike Church has 1 troy pound of gold in his safe, and that he's going to give it away on July 2nd. And even if you're a neocon in MAGA clothing, you can still win it.
Win Mike Church's Pound of Gold. Tickets on sale now exclusively at winapoundofgold.com. Reposting Laura Loomer lies forgiven. Pardons sold separately.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So, are we gonna do this regenerative farming thing or what?
Yep.
Who you calling degenerate?
Tommy, that's regenerate.
It means to recycle the earth, not till it to death.
Great, because I'm cycling rounds with Vera till death.
We're gonna starve to death, y'all.
Don't be a Tommy. Stock up on regenerative farming books and Books to Farm By in the Founders Trading Post. Books by Father Dennis Fahey, Father Vincent McNabb, Hilary Belloc, and many, many more. And remember, these books aren't just how-tos on moving earth, livestock, and sowing seeds. These books teach the family economy that flourishes on a small family farm, homestead, and yep, even suburban development. So start your collection and start your learning and change your family life for the better today. All books available at mikechurch.com/farm.
Hey, Rick, this row needs another pass. Where's the regenerate switch on this shovel?
It's got electrolytes.
So wait a minute. What you're saying is that
Last time, for the last time, I'm pretty sure what's killing the crops is this Brondo stuff.
The Brondo's got what plants crave. It's got electrolytes.
So wait a minute. What you're saying is that you want us to put water on the crops.
Yes.
Water, like out the toilet?
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be out of the toilet, but yeah, that's the idea.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
Okay, look, the plants aren't growing. So I'm pretty sure that the Brondo's not working. Now, I'm no botanist, but I do know that if you put water on plants, they grow.
Well, I've never seen no plants grow out of no toilet.
Hey, that's good. You sure you ain't the smartest guy in the world?
Yeah.
So let's go back.
Okay, look, you want to solve this problem. I want to get my pardon, so why don't we just try it, okay? And not worry about what plants crave.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
Yeah, it's got electrolytes.
What are electrolytes? Do you even know?
It's what they used to make Brondo.
Yeah, but why did they use them to make Brondo?
Because Brondo's got electrolytes.
Are you ready to win a pound of gold? Think of it. Go to a Votech school. Pay your tuition in advance. Done. Think of it. Oh, we can't upgrade our house. We just don't have the money. You got 53 grand in gold sitting in your safe, you do. Think of it. Oh, I got student loans I can't pay back. You got 53 grand in gold bullion. You can pay them back. Winning Pound of Gold begins Monday. Monday. Here on the Mike Church Show, here on the Ethics in Broadcasting Network. It is a free phone Friday.
Oh, and remember, Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day. So, if you want to, go ahead and wear a Hawaiian shirt and jeans.
It's free phone. It's free phone.
Yes, it is a free phone Friday. Yay! Today you are charged with the task of telling us what it is we shall talk about on this program. You can choose from the smorgasbord of all topics this week at 844-527-8723, 844-5-CRUSADE. This portion of the program brought to you by the Dude Nation member service. You all need to upgrade. It may not even be an upgrade for some of you. It's just a lateral move. But you need to go to mikechurch.com/join and then pick a medal, as in MEDAL, bronze, silver, gold, platinum father, or rhodium elite. Pick a medal and then click buy. Now, you want to do the gold if you want all the podcast series that I'm now making, and all the transcripts, and a 10% discount in the Dude Gear store. Then click the gold. Just go ahead. No, it's safe. It's okay. Just go ahead and click it. Yeah, okay, good. Now click checkout. Oh, yeah. Now click the buy button. That's right. That one that says buy. Okay. Oh, look, it's prorating you. Oh, okay. It's saying that you owe $4.83 to complete the first month, the current month that you're in. And then your new billing it'll tell you what your new billing is. No, just click OK. It's okay. And now, a thank you screen. Yes, you're in. Now when you go to mikechurch.com or podcast@mikechurch.com and you see that shiny new box set of podcasts from like the Memorial Day special, America at War, the first 100 years radio dramas that I put together, click on it. Oh, hey, it just opened up in a window, and I can see all 12 of them, and I can play them. Oh, they'll play automatically in order. Yep, sure will. That's what that new, unbelievably powerful and cool podcast player does at podcast.mikechurch.com. So upgrade today, and it's all yours for the low price of $30 a month at mikechurch.com/join. Now, if you don't want the transcripts in the podcast, do the bronze, $10 a month. And you can do first month free. That's at mikechurch.com/join. All right, Oakley dokley and all that sort of jazz. We're going to play another Frank Wright here. Before we do that, let's go to the telephones. The curmudgeon of the state of New Jersey is on the Dude Maker hotline. Oh, you say he's happy today?
He's on vacation.
Well, then who is this? Mr. Monday, you're happy?
Well, I'm burning up vacation in preparation for retirement. Why would I not be happy?
Well, where are you? Where are you vacationing upon?
Well, the best place at home. I'm getting ready to take a load of aluminum down to the scrapyard and get some money. I'm not like all you rich people. I got to keep scrounging.
Oh, so the old scrapyard trip, huh?
Yeah. Well, since you never want to talk to me anymore, you don't want to do Free from the Farm Friday anymore. I just wanted to.
Do Free Farm Friday right now. Go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm a little late from your first hour on this because I had to recover from the Berger effect. But in that, you are a bit of a historian when we talk about what Britain's doing to the farmers now, and I will make a point here. After the First World War, when a great portion of that generation was killed, and Britain was trying desperately to hold on to its empire even back then, they legislated policies and did various things to basically make sure 80% of their food was coming from off the island.
Really?
I don't know how many people. Yes.
Why would you do that?
All right. Well, we'll get to that.
Okay.
And what happened? And people, what were they worried about? Oh, they were worried about the invasion. They were worried about the Blitz. They were worried about bombs. For a while, the number one concern was when they were standing alone, basically being a blockaded island, food and starvation. You go back and look, and what, of course, did they do? They took what was like, how were there any farms left? Well, we don't do this to make money. You know that. So they literally went in and did a Soviet style. This is how you're going to grow food. This is how big your plot's going to be. This is how many seeds you're going to put in. But they literally did that for the first couple of years in order to try to make sure that they had enough food to feed people. It was that serious. My point in this being is saying, well, how can they do this stupid thing now where they're going to tax the farmers out of existence? My circumstances may be different, but we just keep repeating the same stuff over and over, and nobody seems to remember.
Yeah. Well, it is. So this is after World War I, and he's talking about what was going on in GB in Great Britain, and that they basically declared a war against their family farmers, and then did some Soviet-era command and control of how they could farm. But you're saying it only lasted a couple of years. Gee, I wonder why. Because it didn't. I'm just imagining now that it didn't work.
Well, I guess it kept them fed for a while, that and what Mr. Roosevelt sent them. And, of course, I don't object that he necessarily shouldn't have done that. But I remember reading about this because I read about these stupid things. And it's like, yeah, you're worried about making bombs and tanks. And, well, Rolls-Royce could make enough engines and stuff. And that was all true. But they were really worried about starvation. And they didn't have Ireland at that point. I mean, that wouldn't have made any difference. They couldn't go to Ireland and take all the food like they did centuries ago. They were literally going to starve because all the food was all the grains, everything was coming from Africa and from India, and they did that on purpose. Well, they thought they were smart.
So are you caught up on Clarkson's farm?
Not lately. I haven't been, but I know you mentioned it there. No, I have. I didn't see the latest, but Jeremy Clarkson, being Jeremy Clarkson, I can only imagine how he's going to rail on this for a while.
Well, he did rail on it, but he wasn't alone. That stage was packed. That area around Whitehall, Dan, there's 10,000 people there. And they had the signs recycled from the Netherlands protest with the no farmers equals no food. With the tractor.
We got those bumper stickers around here, but they didn't do like in France though and spray manure all over the public buildings, did they?
No, not yet. They ought to. So what happened? Okay, what happened to Clarkson is, and as you know, if you're watching the series, is the Shire and the county in which he lives hates him. And apparently hates all the farmers, that they only want the good old boy farmers that they grew up with, that mind their own business and don't try to do stupid things like sell their own food on their own land, which they made illegal in that parish, if you will. And that's what Jeremy Clarkson has been fighting. This is the most ridiculous, stupid thing. We have a law like that here in Louisiana. Maggie can tell you because she owned a brewery. Yeah. She was not allowed to sell her own beer in her bar, basically, in her tavern. Right next door. And it was right next door. She basically had to form two separate corporations and then sell the beer from Corporation A to then to Corporation B that owned
the tavern next door. You know, this is what government does to try and make sure that Budweiser and Miller and InBev and the big corporations that fund the government and the political class maintain market share and control. And it's just wrong. It shouldn't happen in Louisiana, shouldn't happen in New Jersey, and it shouldn't happen in England, but it does.
Various underground things if you can, but sometimes I don't even understand the reason. I know I've mentioned this one before, but I found out, say the hard way. We're in the cradle of our democracy, Virginia, and I happened to stop at this winery I had never been to, and they had a distillery. It was about 4 o'clock. They were going to close at 5, and I said, well, let's run down to the distillery first. And they said, oh, no, it's already closed. I said, why is it already closed? Because in the state of Virginia, if you have both things on site, you have to close the distillery an hour before you close the wine tasting bar.
That's so stupid!
You could not possibly drink enough wine to get drunk, but I have no idea. I have no idea why they have this law.
Because they were bored.
Sometimes it's control just for the sake of being control. I don't know. I have no idea.
So
if I could understand that, Madam Chair, I would maybe solve the problems.
Well, you're gonna your big ag farmers are gonna have a major issue here when people start showing up at their corporations and with trucks of liquid manure to spray at the people entering the board meetings. I literally think that that some form of organized and I won't use the other word because I don't want to get in trouble. Agitated protest is what it's going to take to bring some of this madness to an end. You know, look, there's a story on CNN right now. Rural revolt. People out in the sticks are going like, you can't keep doing this to us because we're country bumpkins.
Well, and there is a balance to it, although we know the balance is way off because, you know, you've heard recently now that the screwworm is found in Texas. It's here.
Yes.
And so, I mean, you know, is there some need to monitor some of these things and try to prevent some things that can really be serious and create havoc? Yes. But somehow we survived for thousands and thousands of years without...
Well,
as George Carlin said, you know, I mean, the people used to get, die because the milk wasn't pasteurized, right, or whatever. Yes. What did he say, about the cooking the hamburger? You know what, you could die of food poisoning in this country? 9,000. It's a minor risk, So.
Well, is that a rooster crowing or is that a dog barking?
Yeah, that's the one that always tries to get me, and I kick him all the time.
Okay. So I'm going to say that my proposed solution, if you're trying to track the screwworm, is you bring back the Farmers Guild. The FFA, bring it back. Bring back the Farmers Guild of the Cattle Ranchers Guild of Texas. They will deal with it. They will tell the public that the guild has certified this beef, and then it's on the guild to say to the farmers, you have to get rid of the screwworm. We're not going to let you bring cows to the slaughterhouses that are in the guild if you haven't tested for screwworms or you haven't done what's needed to be done to get rid of the screwworm. That's how you deal with it.
Oh, absolutely. But it's why did it make a resurgence in Mexico? Because we encourage these kinds of things to happen.
Yes, I think so.
And deliberate? No, I'm not quite that black hat conspiratorial that they're out some. It's just nobody knows why things work on the darn starship.
Nope.
I'm sorry, they just don't know.
You can't. Monday, you can't tie everything to why the things work on a starship, Mr. Spock Monday Scott.
You want to bet?
All right.
Believe me, when I got people there, they're 21 years old and they don't know which way to turn a valve on and off. I get very and now you can get me all discouraged and curmudgeonly when I was having a really nice day. Thank you very much.
All right, go back to being vacation EE and stuff. We'll see you next week.
All right.
Okay, buddy.
Talk to you soon.
All right, thank you. Bye. God bless you. Thank you.
You ruined his good mood.
Here's a headline that I wish to show to everyone.
I wish I had a headline light like Jay Leno used to have, because that light is so far above, it just doesn't shine a light on it, right? Okay, can you all see that? Trump unveils $700 million investment in coal industry. No, he didn't. Bull. I am calling bull. The coal industry does not need to be subsidized unless you have kneecapped the natural gas and the petroleum industry by doing something stupid like, I don't know, closing the Strait of Hormuz. All this is saying that we got a major problem here and we need the coal-fired generating places to step up, and they don't have the infrastructure to do it, so we're going to give them the money to do it.
They just took that money from what was already allocated for the Green New Deal, and they squashed the Green New Deal, of course, so they have all this money sitting there. So he just took that and
as he campaigns,
the deck chairs again.
As he campaigns against the Green New Scam, as he calls it, he implements the Green New Scam. He uses the money from the Green New Scam. You can't make this stuff up. The president said the initiative will support more than 14,000 jobs and save Americans more than $50 billion. How am I going to save $50 billion when you just spent 700?
Thank you.
Or 700 million. How's it going to save me $50 billion? I'm telling you. They're going to get a bailout, aren't they? Yes, they're going to get a bailout. This is saying that we don't have enough energy because all these AI places are coming along. This is also a subsidy to AI. This is subsidizing the Satanist that is Sam Altman. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do next segment? All right, it's not on the cut sheet, or is it? Okay, no, it's not, but Maggie has it. I'm going to play you a sound. It's long. We'll sit through a couple of minutes of it. It's worth listening to. There is no AI industry. No, jobs. They don't. It's Ed Citron on Bloomberg. Okay, you're not going to believe this guy. Stay tuned.
Uber or Cocaine Bear hid their money, but we do know there's a pound of gold in Mike Church's studio, and all you have to do to win is listen for the golden sound of the day. Weekday mornings at 6 a.m. on The Mike Church Show at MikeChurchShow.com and on YouTube at Real King Dude.
Hello, Red, White, and Dude Nation. I'm Janet Huxley at The Mike Church Show News Desk with your crucials for Friday, June the 5th, 2026. This report is brought to you by the all-new Mike Church Show website and Dude Nation membership service. Check it out today at the all-new MikeChurch.com. In the market report, the Dow was up 1.73%. The S&P closed up 2.41%. NASDAQ slipped a hair, 0.09%. Today is National Donut Day. Did you know that? It may have been on your radar if you're up early this morning. National Donut Day began during World War I. Over 4 million U.S. men and women served during the war, with almost 3 million of those serving overseas. In 1917, a group of women, often referred to as lassies, were sent to the front lines in France by the Salvation Army. They were directed to set up field bases near the front lines to try to boost morale among the troops. The makeshift huts were in a place where soldiers could stock up on necessities and get a small break from the fighting. It was during this time the lassies began handing out sweet baked treats that would become known as the Salvation Army Donut, from the term doughboys. Today is also National Start Over Day, a day intended to remind you it's perfectly fine to start over. It's also National Moonshine Day, and it's National Gingerbread Day. And our quote of the day: it is better to say 1 Our Father fervently and devoutly than 1,000 with no devotion and full of distraction. Saint Edmund. You can learn about today's saint in the Saint of the Day podcast at crusadechannel.com. You're listening to The Mike Church Show in the Red, White, and Dude Nation.
Hi, folks. It's Mike Church, founder of Founding Father Films, asking you to learn the true stories of America's founding by purchasing my movie, The Spirit of 76. The Spirit of 76 details the true story of the writing and ratifying of the U.S. Constitution.
Who authorized them to speak the language of we, the people, instead of we, the states? States are the characteristics and the soul of a confederation. If the states be not the agents of this compact, It must be one great...
This animated movie comes complete with collector's booklets, DTS surround sound, and is packed with hours of bonus features. Learn the true stories of America's founding and order Mike Church's The Spirit of 76 on a 2 DVD or 3 CD set. Available now at mikechurch.com/DVD and by calling 844-527-8723. This is a pixel.
I'm Groot.
Now, if you put a couple of million of these guys together, you can make a sentence on an LED screen. Put a couple of billion of them together, and you can make a whole page. Put 360 billion of them, and you got Chesterton's book, Orthodoxy. But it doesn't smell like a book, and it burns teeny little holes in your cornea. So is the pixel really your friend?
I'm Groot.
No, but the Founders Trading Post is your friend, and we have actual books with actual smelly pages. Plus, our little bookstore has everything you'd expect.
I'm Groot.
Yes, Groot, to the gourmet coffee, but no to the One Tree Hill sappy guitar music.
Pick up a copy of G.K. Chesterton's Orthodoxy, plus many other Chesterton titles at shop.mikechurch.com.
I think I'll go to sleep and dream about piles of gold getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Here's a piles and piles of gold fun fact. When making Raiders, Spielberg chose the Golden Ark of the Covenant because he knew audiences wouldn't go, ooh, ah, if Nazis stole a parchment scroll containing a psalm. Now, we don't know where the lost Ark is, but we do know that Mike Church has 1 troy pound of gold in his safe, and that he's going to give it away on July 2nd, and you don't have to say, ooh, ah, to win it.
Win Mike Church's Pound of Gold. Tickets on sale now exclusively at winapoundofgold.com. Ark of the Covenant sold separately. Call 844-527-8723. Holding a PhD for the KingDude Center for Constitutional Studies is not just an honor, it's a way of life. The Mike Church Show is heard exclusively on the Red, White, and Dude Nation.
2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
Staying alive in Too Much Heaven, Mike Church Show here on a free Food Friday. You know, I'm going to do something I usually don't do. This portion of the program brought to you by the Dude Gear Store. Only 3 mugs left. If you want one of these rainbow trout-colored bourbons, beer, coffee, vodka steins with the Mike Church Show logo on it, handmade, no two are alike, you got to go today. Shop.mikechurch.com. And don't forget the coffee, folks. We got a brand new shipment of Abbey Roast in. You got your Roma, got your French roast. I had French roast yesterday, by the way, and I've been waiting weeks for it. Got your Vera Cruz, got your black and white, or is it black and tan? What's it called? Black and white. Black and white. Got your espresso and your what's the fourth one? Vera Cruz, Roma, black and white, espresso, French, and French. 5. Okay. Just arrived. Pick a bag or 16 up today. Please. Shop.mikechurch.com. Maggie told me something during the break. I'm like, oh, I have to go see this. Paul Turner, TW1YD, says, Church, you're, hey, superstar. That's YOU''RE. You're a traitor communist. Get out. Okay. Mrs. O'Connell responds as me. Traitor and a communist? Wow. Can I also be an anti-Semite for the trifecta? Raymond Salazar 72222 says I missed the Friday Bee Gees medley. Buckeye 1075 says I do too. Guys, for $5, I'm happy to bring it back. You go to mikechurch.com/coffee and buy me a cup of coffee, and I'll see what I can do about the Bee Gees super medley. It's many people love so much. You know, can you imagine the conniption fit YouTube would have?
Oh, we'd never be allowed back on.
I think I'd be banned for life. The conniption fit that YouTube would have if we brought back the Bee Gees super medley, because you know we get a copyright flag every day. And, you know, and our digital media advisor are just saying, we're never going to grow the channel if you don't stop getting copyright flags. Well, you're going to have to find a way around that then, because I am not going to stop doing the show the way we do it and the way we have for 35 years. I don't care if ABC and the RIAA doesn't like it. Now, I want all of you to gather around Luchirans, gather around your daddy, the big KingDude Papa. I want all of you to gather around, and I want you to listen to digital media file number 9. Now, this is why I want you to listen to it. There's a lot of fear about Skynet actually coming to fruition.
It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear. And it absolutely will not stop, ever, until you are dead.
Okay. There's a lot of fear of Skynet and of AI coming in and taking over. And they're going to take all these jobs and they're going to do this. I am telling you, my experience with AI says that it is at best a technology. Now, I will tell you that because we have AI generate graphics for us, because we just don't have enough hands around. I'm the artist around here, so it frees me up to do other things. But I will tell you, there are times when I go like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to get AI to set my text for me, or to give me a background, and I'll do the rest of the art with my hands and in Photoshop. And I'll take the pictures. I'm the photographer around this joint, too. So I try very hard to not serve you guys up 100% AI-generated slopola. Now, sometimes, just out of necessity, I have to. I'm going to give you an example. Jim Mosier and I yesterday were working on the ad. We were working on the Golden Truth Kids ad. I've already got a couple of comments on it. People giving me 5 and 6 crying, laughing emojis and saying, love it, love it, love it. When it gets out, a lot of people are going to forward it around and go like, okay, this is very well done. But it has a point. It's an ad. It's funny. but it tells you about the gold contest. So share it with everyone you know. We are wrestling with, okay, how are we going to get the voice of the girl? Now, I can do the guys of the boys' voice because I did Baby Trump. And I'm just hanging out in the chat room like a wolf. I did all that. Who's going to do the girl? So I only have one voice actress on call, and she didn't want to do it, or she couldn't do it, or she wasn't available, or whatever the case was. I'm like, I'm not waiting. So I will actually go and use one of these AIs. Let's go test them out. Well, I was on my third one because the first two voice synthesizers sucked and they just generated absolute crap. The third one, when I plugged in the original voice, I just didn't know why you didn't call. Yeah, right. Because there's not a lot to work with on that old E-Trade baby spot with the female character. So I had to cheat. And I had to do it. I'm not going to tell you how I did it, but I cheated. I'm like Captain Kirk. I rigged the test. So I got it to spit a line out, the actual line that I wrote. And I went, okay, that is all. It sounds like the actress. But we could not figure out how to get it to do, and it wouldn't do the milk of what? Which people still run around and go, milk of what today? Well, I want people to be running around going, world, what? So we could not figure out how to do it. So we took what the AI gave us, and I said, wait a minute, Jim. I know how to do it. I just did it here. You're the Mix Master Pro. I'll tell you what I did, and then I told him what I did, and he and I figured it out. So when you hear that ad and you hear the world, what? That's analog production. Me and him did that. And at the last minute, because we were getting ready to go like, oh, and it just adds the punchline. It just punctuates the whole thing. So I use the AI as a tool. There's another instance in there. If you watch the ad carefully, the Trump, the baby Trump character, had to be massaged in the video program, which we did. My point is, if I just turned that script over to AI and said do it, and gave it the audio and the video and everything, it would make one. It would totally suck, and no one would believe it. It would not be funny. It was only because I was directing it that we got the result. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Maggie, can you click off a green screen just one more time to play the baby, the Golden Truth babies? Wait, let me get the Golden Truth. I want everyone to see this. And you might get 2 seconds of black dead hair. Don't panic. Just deal with it. Don't scream in the chat. Oh, my Lord, am I the only one that lost video? No, you're not the only one. Count down to black screen in 3. No. Just go to black screen. Go to the screen that you need, then come back and play it. They can deal with 2 seconds of blackness. Okay. Countdown 3, 2, 1.
So yeah, sorry about last night.
I just don't understand why you didn't call.
Well, I was in the chat room, diversifying my call-in moves, taking control like a wolf.
Right.
What's that? That's winning gold in the contest. Taking care of it Trump style. My God.
And that waraholic Laura wasn't over?
Laura?
Wara. What?
Play the Win a Pound of Gold contest at winapoundofgold.com.
And so, you see the end result. There's a lot of editing. That took 2 days to put that together. That is, as I said, if I just turn it over to AI and said, make this, it would have made it, but it would have sucked. So be of good cheer. I think that they're selling us the scare package to try and promote their IPOs and to try to promote their own power. They want
this to happen. It's not going to happen. So, having said that, here is Ed Citron on Bloomberg yesterday. Okay, watch this.
What are we getting? I don't want to say we. What are the bulls out there getting wrong about AI? Because you've made no secret that you don't see any there.
Yeah. So I think people are conflating a semiconductor rally with an underlying successful business, which doesn't really exist. Anthropic's current revenue growth, which is deeply questionable, and the fact that they leaked profitability, manipulated by Elon Musk, of course, their growth is coming because people cannot measure how much an AI task actually costs. And a couple months ago, Anthropic started charging their enterprise customers the actual token rates. What this has led to is suddenly businesses are going, oh, how much money are we spending? I think it was Uber's COO, Andrew McDonald, said that they're having trouble justifying the AI spend based on the actual return, that one can actually measure it. So you've got a thing where you can't measure the costs and you can't measure the return on investment. What do you call that? You call it a thing without an ROI.
Isn't it, though, safe to say...
Stop, pause for just a second. ROI is return on investment. So they are artificially, we're talk about AI, they are making this thing so that you can't tell whether or not it's profitable or it isn't, or if it's just a hole in the ground tech giants are pouring investors' money into. That's what he's saying. Yeah.
Think about this. I agree that there is going to be, when there's any new technology, there's a lot of money thrown at something, right? A hot new idea, whatever it is. And that ultimately, like we've talked with some experts in the AI world, they're saying all of these large language models, not everything's going to exist. Because right now, it doesn't cost you anything to use it. But at some point, there will be a cost. And people will start to select what they want to play with. And so is it a case of right now, I mean, at some point there will be some winners, some losers, and we'll see some things filter their way out, and that there will be some return on investment for some of the larger players when it comes to AI? Do you not see some winners and losers in this, or some winners in this?
I think the winner is Jensen Huang, and the winner is the construction firms who have got prepaid for all the data center construction. Maybe Sam Altman and Dario Amodeo have become billionaires through this. But when it comes to the actual businesses, you can't find anyone who can measure the ROI because you can't do it. So when it comes down to the model companies themselves, they're all horrifyingly unprofitable. I think OpenAI lost like $20-something billion last year. And
$20 billion. We don't have access to their books.
Of course. But this is based on
file for an IPO.
And that's the thing. When we see these S1s, I think it's going to be kind of a massacre, because I think that people have this view that these companies are becoming more profitable or even have a path to profitability, and they don't have one.
But somebody could say, and Carol, we talk about this all the time, Amazon for years didn't really have
not
profits.
the same.
Well, that's the thing.
Now
though.
It's a behemoth, and now it's then AWS came along, and now it's this juggernaut that has made a lot of people very wealthy.
But the thing with Amazon is between 2003 and 2017, Amazon Web Services, actually all Amazon CapEx, was around $57 billion normalized for inflation.
Between that whole time?
In that entire time, and they were cash flow positive in 9. The classic thing with the .com reconciliation thing is, well, things went poorly, but after that there was useful infrastructure. No such story exists here. GPUs, AI GPUs specifically, have very few other use cases. And on top of that, if you're talking about incomplete data centers, it's going to cost just as much money to finish them today as it will in 10 years. And similarly, a Blackwell, a B200, GB200 rack, NVL72 rack, for example, will cost just as much, if not more, in electricity 10 years from now. There is no pick up and fix this story. Perhaps there'll be some on-device large language model use, but we are talking an industry that has absorbed over $1 trillion in the last 3 years. The media attention from everyone, and these continual stories about the magic of AI. But when you say, hey, is it making any money? They go, oh, no. Oh, we couldn't possibly. We don't do that yet. But don't worry, Uber lost a lot of money. Uber burned about $32 billion, which is less than half of what Anthropic has raised in the last 6 months.
So I think it's safe to say there's a lot of smart investors who are in this. Smart companies who are in it, right?
Well, no, they're stupid.
I mean,
they're getting scammed.
Your big hyperscaler, they obviously want to be around for a long time. So I'm just like, how do you explain their bets on all of this?
So I have this theory called the .com bubble, which is the hyperscalers are out of hypergrowth ideas. We haven't had a new iPhone. We haven't had a new cloud computing. We haven't really had a new platform that would turn into the next the next Google search or Amazon Web Services. So they thought that large language models were going to be the panacea, that they were going to be creators of API growth, that they were going to be the new infrastructure play, load up the GPUs, sell access to everyone. The problem is no one checked to make sure any of this was profitable. And we still don't know if GPU compute is actually margin positive, which is crazy considering the amount of money going into it. And when we look at the companies that actually are selling it, CoreWeave, for example, they burn billions of dollars, 20-something billion dollars worth of capex this year, about the same amount in debt, and their customers are NVIDIA, OpenAI through Google, OpenAI through Microsoft, and Meta, who does not have an AI strategy. It's very strange, like that Twilight Zone episode with the scary child. Like, we're all trying to pretend that Meta actually has a plan here. They don't have one.
So is Apple kind of smart? Because we've talked with our Mark Gurman about this. Have they kind of been relying on Google, right, and Gemini, and not necessarily doing that big spend?
And they're not doing any CapEx on.
No, exactly.
Well, I think what happened with Apple is they released Apple Intelligence, which may be the largest scale anti-tech radicalization in history. My non-tech friends, I've heard nothing about AI from them. Moment Apple Intelligence comes out, they're like, this is the worst thing I've ever used. And I think that made Apple go, maybe not. Maybe we should take a step back. But
okay, stop the tape. All right. If you're on X, bookmark it so you can go back to it. That guy is going to be proven correct. Now, if Steve Jobs were still alive, I keep saying this, if Steve were still alive, a lot of this wouldn't have happened because Steve would have told them in boardroom, I don't understand how this, he would have cursed. I don't understand. Explain to me, and because he was Steve, was a jerk. Explain to me how this thing makes explain to me how this mother thing makes any money. Go ahead, you're so smart. You came up with this stupid idea you want me to spend billions on. Explain to me, again, how it makes any money. And they would have gone, homina. And Steve would have gone, kill it. Kill it. You got your stupid Siri. Doesn't make any money either. Kill it. We don't want it. This is covered. And I know people are going to go, oh, here he goes again with Jim Collins. This is covered in Collins' book, Good to Great. None of those companies are even going to become good, much less great. They don't have the 3 circles. They have circle 1, and they might have a little bit of circle 2. They don't have circle 3, which is the revenue profit. All right, how does it generate revenue? And then is that revenue sufficient to generate profit? You know, we changed the Black Hat Studios Crusade channel and began the change in January of this year. All right, I'm telling you a story that hopefully has a wonderful ending. I quit. I retired as Chief Technical Officer and IT guy 2 weeks ago. It was something I should have done a long time ago. I turned it all over to a company, to a person, individual I've known for a long, long time, and they've been with our company in a direct capacity for 15 months now. And they made me a proposal. I'm like, you know what? Makes sense. I talked to all of our advisors. They all said, Mike, do it. Go back to doing radio. Let them do it. I can already, you'll start to see the changes on crusadechannel.com and then on mikechurch.com. And you're going to go like, hey, wait a minute. Hey, it actually works. Yeah, it's actually faster. Yes. Well, there's actually new stuff. It made it easier for me. I told them our mission is, and I'm telling you guys, we're not there yet. We're working. They're working towards it. Invisible technology. You don't even know it's there. It's so good. Now, I can't say that with the Roku channel and my Roku box on Amazon. Amazon will crash out in the middle of a show. It will just drop it. So will Paramount, so will Peacock, and so will Apple TV. Sometimes Apple TV won't take my money. So there's no instance in where you can make something totally that you don't know the technology in the tech world. You're going to know it at some point. But I think we're going to get really close. And that is, in our case, that is circle number 2. So we know that to get to the circle 3, that we have to, in circle number 2, we have to nail it, stick it like Olga Korbut. It's got to be a 10.0 in the 76 Olympics in Munich, or a Nadia Comaneci. We know that. These jackasses with the AI, these criminals, these Satanists, they haven't even considered it. So I do not believe it's going to take over, and I believe it is ultimately the biggest bubble in history, and it's going to explode. It's going to leave Trump holding the bag, too. And the Trump administration is going to pay the political price because they've been bragging and boasting about this $17 trillion. Almost none of that, a very small percentage of that, is outside of AI. And AI data centers, like this monstrosity this jerk Kevin O'Leary wants to build in Utah. None of it's going to happen because the money is going to disappear, and it's going to disappear because it's a hoax. It's a scam. That's what that guy just said. So put a bookmark on it. Let's come back in 6 months and see who was right. One more from Frank Wright, because I want you to go get the interview. Let's do the next one. Let's do digital media file number 6 with Frank's wonderful interview with Tucker Carlson. Now that he has crossed all the people that matter, Tucker, maybe he will now cross Steve Bannon and do the unthinkable and bring me in to talk about dissolving the American Union and secession.
That comes from a thinker called Matthew Arnold, who wrote a book in 1863 called Culture and Anarchy. And I'll finish with this, that he said that because we're going to liberalize the world and democratize it, but obviously we're going to subtract religion because we liberals don't believe in Christ, we're going to retain the outward structure of the church and the armature, if you like, of our civilization. But we're going to remove the supernatural and Christ and God himself from the center of that. And he said we should replace it with culture or we'll have anarchy. So from the 1860s, the liberals had this idea of standardizing the world beneath their own godless standards. But they recognized that without the foundational Christianity of our civilization, there would be anarchy. And so Matthew Arnold imagined that he would promote things like poetry and classical art and classical music. But instead you got like Taylor Swift and televised sports. And then, of course, nowadays you get like the current thing craze where you all put on some crazy hat or kneel for an obvious criminal or something. But these are all elements of the mass production of culture, which generates mass belief and literally does drive people insane because it is fundamentally counter-reality. This is a revolutionary ideology, and all revolutions are basically revolts against the natural order, the changeless order of being and reality created by God, of course.
So you can see Tucker laughing. Frank is very humorous. Of course, he's so well read, and he's right, and he's right about that. I love the part about Matthew Arnold. It makes me want to go back and read some Frank Wright articles I know that he wrote, that I didn't get to read all of them, because he wrote about Matthew Arnold, and he wrote about replacing God with culture. And this is what has happened. And it's happening today. So the fact that Frank Wright has hit a chord, though, and I just want to keep coming back to the same thing. Frank struck a chord. People heard this and they went, hey, wait, whoa, back the tape, stop the tape, back it up, hold on, what'd that guy say? And they're going like, well, wait a minute, where has this been my entire adult life? Why hasn't anyone else said this? Pick me, I have said it.
Now, I haven't said it in the same way that Frank has said it, because, and Frank and I think, are good compliments. But Frank Wright is becoming popular, but it's really Jesus Christ and the social moral teaching of the church that's becoming popular, if you want to unpack it. Because, and Frank Wright would be the first to tell you this. If you were to ask him, you go, no, it's Christ, it's church, and it's and the social moral doctrines that are becoming popular. That's what I will guarantee. Go ask him. Don't take my word. Ask him. Or I'm going to interview him next week, so I'll ask him. That's what's becoming popular. That's a wonderful thing. That means that setting brush fires of new Christendoms, which is what he's doing, will work. It will catch on. So this has been a doctrine here on the church doctrine, if you will, on the Mike Church Show. And by the way, sign up for the church doctrine, an email newsletter. You'll get it in your inbox every day. Go to mikechurch.com/email, or just go to mikechurch.com, and under the show menu tab, it says right there, sign up for Mike's email. It's free, don't cost nothing. And I hope that hundreds of you will go do it today. But in any event, let's unpack it properly. This is not, remember, we don't believe in the cult of personality. We believe in the cult of Christ, which is the church, which is the magisterium, which is sacred tradition, which is doctrine, which is the teaching, and yes, new Christendom. So I think that this is an absolutely marvelous thing. As a matter of fact, the more people that interview Frank, put Frank on, better shot that Steve Cunningham, Mike Church, and others like us have to be on those same shows. But I would say the greater the possibility that a show like this gains a much larger audience. Because they'll hear about it. They'll see it and go, wait. He sounds like that Frank Wright guy. Of course, Frank's going to go, no, I sound like that Mike Church guy. And it's all very wonderful, and it's good. But keep it in front of you. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why I'm here to drive the bus, you people. Keep it in front of you. It's not the cult of personality. It is what the personality is saying. And what he's saying is defending the good, true, and beautiful, and saying, no, we must get back to that. That is what we are demanding. And like Frank said, we're going to win. That's what we're going to do. Now, does that mean that that does not mean that all of us get to live to see it? Whether it's through how many years or decades it takes, or whether it's because they come after us and start killing us, which I can't predict one or the other, but I'm happy with either result. Christ be praised. So that is what I think is happening with the Frank Wright phenomenon. So now you know. Okay, I just saw this, and I thought, well, you know what? To close the week of broadcasting out, I think that this is a... Wait a minute, I didn't see that you had Vladimir Putin on the cut sheet. Oh, two things you got to hear before we leave. You got to hear Senator Ron Wyden, Scott Bessent, Treasury Secretary, absolutely humiliate, Senator Ron Wyden yesterday. Watch.
Senator Wyden has mendaciously slandered the Treasury building in an attempt to cover up his son having an investment meeting with Jeffrey Epstein to ask for funding. Thank you.
Bessent just doesn't care.
Yes. Let's be clear here. Nobody is interested in the ramblings of a capo in the most corrupt regime in American history. We want to get some facts about this deal. That's what we're here for. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and I will ask my questions first today.
And we would like to hear what Adam Wyden and Jeffrey Epstein talked about. Your son's largest investment position was Rick's Cabaret. So did your son and Jeffrey Epstein talk about pole dancing as he begged him for money using your limited credibility.
Now, don't ask me how I know this. Please don't. Rick's Cabaret is a chain of strip clubs in Florida.
Don't they have one in New Orleans too?
Right, maybe they're outside of Florida. I think they started in Florida.
They have one on Bourbon.
I think they have one on Bourbon Street. Just so you know, something that would be right up Epstein's alley to fund. Why was a United States senator's son in the smut business with the king of pedo smut and an agent for Mossad? Now, see, here we are again. You can't disconnect Mossad and the Israel government with a Democrat United States senator. You just heard it right there. You just heard it. I don't get the connection. Where do you think pornography originated? We invented it here in America back in the 90s. I mean, it's been around forever, but the mass transmission of electronic pornographic images was conceived of, developed, and perfected, including the how to monetize it, and through what means in Israel, in Tel Aviv. Look it up. Okay, so then I said, finally, you have Vladimir Putin. We heard from President Trump. I don't want to hear from Putin. Right against still can't do it. I won 87% of the counties. Pete was tougher than I thought between the Russians and you know why? Because Trump was boasting and bragging. He was going to sit Putin down and tell him, look, this is how it's going to be. You're going to make peace. And Putin went, get out of here. Get out of my office. Nah, you leave. It'll sit and drink vodka with me and talk seriously about why Ukraine, ancient part of, old part of Ukraine, southeast part of Ukraine, is ancient Russia. Always has been, always will be. Either acknowledge this, Mr. President, or shut up. Vlad does not want to hear any more of your absolute American bullshit. So here's President Putin going talking about Nord Stream 2. Remember Trump saying, I told him you can't have Nord Stream 2. What do you mean you can't have Nord? I never liked this when Trump said it and Trump wanted it. What do you don't control Nord Stream. You don't control the Baltic Sea. Here's President Putin saying what I just said.
Speaking of Nord Stream and energy, by the way, as you know, Nord Streams have been destroyed, exploded. But there is one line of the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, which is still intact. We could launch the supply of gas tomorrow. We could provide natural gas to Germany from Russia at first notice. It's a matter of just pushing the button, and the gas will go. But it will require a decision by the government of Germany. We have an existing contract between Gazprom and their partner in Germany. Contacts are still there. They maintain contacts. Gazprom never rejected that. Gazprom could start shipments tomorrow, if needed. And the partners of Gazprom are also willing. They want that. So the only obstacle is a decision by the government of the Federal Republic of Germany. This is a matter of politics, a matter of sovereignty. They didn't just set off an explosion. This was an act of state terrorism. I think you will agree with that. There is still one line of the pipeline. It is intact, but it is still under American sanctions, the US sanctions. If the government of Germany could find an agreement with their partners and lift the sanctions, then we can just push a button and natural gas will flow. I was surprised to hear that Russia, this evil Russia, stopped supplying energy resources to Europe. We never stopped. Europe just said no, they refused to buy, hoping that we would collapse. But they have seen for themselves that we did not collapse. So they understood that it was enough. So they changed something a bit.
The Western powers are finished. The United States was told by the lying through their skin of their teeth Israelis, Mr. President, no, Hamas. The government of Iran is unstable at the weakest point, Mr. President. The U.S. armament and bombs with Israel intelligence, they will collapse. We will restore the Shah and the people of Iran will take over. Stupid, lie, only idiots who probably play fantasy football while they should be discussing making America great again. These boobs and morons, either they knew it was a lie and they did it anyway because they serve another government and another god who is Satan, or a fake god, a wannabe god, or they're stupid. But a church play, they were just lied to, they were convinced. Well, I was lied to too and convinced, so it is possible that there is a third option that, no, they genuinely actually believed it and they just got conned, like we got conned with Trump. That is possible, although I believe that it is either fealty, just weak fealty to Israel and to the Zionist state, because you want to, or you're just stupid. I'm leaning towards half of them being choice one and the other half being choice two. The governments of NATO have been told, oh no, the Russians are going to collapse. Ukraine is going to beat them. With NATO and the United States, they don't have a shot. The Russian Federation is going to collapse. Again, you're stupid. The Russian Federation, the seeds of it date back to the 9th century. And the people were around in Central Europe. They just had unified and as Russians. They have an existential right, or problem rather, with the West trying to kill them, to crush them, and to drive them, they want regime change. The neocons want regime change in Russia. They're not going to get it. As we have been saying from the beginning, the Russians are going to treat this as an existential crisis, and you're not going to drive us from existence. You will fail. Well, the West has failed. And there's Putin going like, this is an act of terrorism, you blowing up these pipelines. But all you got to do is just tell your buddy Trump, we need the Russian natural gas because we can't get it from the Qataris anymore because they don't have any. Tell your buddy to go pound sand. He lost. Vlad Impaler has won. Push button, you get gas. Simple as that. Is Germany going to be stupid? Are you going to be Dummkopf? Or are you going to be smart? That is President Putin saying, ha ha, I still live. Your stupid sanctions haven't done anything. Russians are still here. As some of us have been saying, we have far more to gain by being allies and friendly with a country like the Russians than we ever will in making enemies out of them. It's stupid. And yet there it is. One more thing before we close the week out and we get ready for the big weekend where we will put in the finishing and final touches on the Win a Pound of Gold contest, which begins Monday morning. Your chance to win a ticket or 2 tickets this year. You can double your winnings. Again, if you missed the announcement earlier, and we're going to send an email out about this. Every Mike Church show daily video update will have embedded in it. You're going to have to watch it to find it. We'll have embedded in it a secret code. Go watch the video the previous days. So you'll watch. So it'll start on Tuesday. In other words, So Tuesday, or on Monday, you will watch Monday's video, and on Tuesday, I'll ask for that code until we get caught up. If you understand, so we'll be a day behind on the video code. But you will give Maggie the video code, and then she'll go, oh, you get 2 tickets. You win 2. Someone was saying earlier in the chat room, can we just get our RSTLNE tickets now? You already know who's going to win. Day 1, it's going to be Schaefer. Day 2, it's going to be whoever. And day 3, it's going to be Doffender. And day 4, it's going to be Aiden. Not if 386,000 Census Fidelium subscribers find out about it. You don't know that. And that's what we hope happens. But on Sunday, you're going to get an email. So, and Sunday, you're going to get a prior email today explaining this. And then on Sunday, if you are a Dude Nation member or a Founders Pass member in good standing, you're going to get an email. It's going to have a link to the ticket site, and it's going to have a coupon code. You can use that coupon code to buy as many Golden Truth tickets you want in a 4-hour window. It's only going to be open for 4 hours. And I don't want to hear anybody, well, I missed out. Too bad. Too bad. It's a magnificent opportunity. If you know you're going to be buying tickets, well, just think, you buy 5 and you get your 6th one free, basically, because we're going to give you 20% discount. Only if you're a Founders Pass member. Do not share that with the public. Do not share that with your Uncle Bobo. So another way you get discounted tickets for $40 this Sunday and Sunday only, but only going to be done through email. It's not going to be broadcasted. Don't text me. It's not going to be in the Signal group. I'm not going to put it in there. So if you're not on the email list, you're not getting it. Or if you don't check your email, if you clicked, I'm sick and tired of getting your stupid emails, and you unsubscribe, guess what? You don't get it.
You can bribe me with beer and cheese, though.
I can't be bribed with bourbon. True story.
Beer and cheese.
There is a piece at Crisis Magazine today that I want to close the program with by Monica Miller, Paradigm Shifts and the End of Catholic Moral Doctrine. The synodal church is making a move to end natural law as the basis of the moral law, but that's impossible. Which is why this is one of these instances where you just have to say it's Christ's church, he's in charge, and he knows what he's doing. And you're just going to have to trust that this monstrous effort, and it is monstrous, is ultimately going to fail. May not fail as quickly as I want it to fail. Shouldn't get started if you ask me, but then again, I don't get a vote. And she says the church's mission is not a matter of abstractly proclaiming and deductively applying principles that are set out in an immutable and rigid manner, but of fostering a living encounter with the person of the risen Lord Jesus by engaging with the lived experience of faith of the people of God and its personal and social relevance. In relation to the diverse situations of life and the many cultural contexts. Only the fruitful tension between what has been established in the church's doctrine and her pastoral practice and the practices of life in which what has been established is verified in the exercise of personal and communal life in the light of the gospel expresses the generative dynamism of tradition against the temptation of the sterile and regressive ossification of principles and statements of norms and rules, regardless of the experience of individuals and communities. As Jesus taught, quote, the Sabbath was made for humankind and not humankind for the Sabbath, close quote. Then she says this is, quote, above, is taken directly from the Synod on Synodality, Study Group 9's final report, focused on theological criteria and synodal methodologies for shared discernment of emerging doctrinal, pastoral, and ethical issues. This quote gives readers just a taste of the jargon employed throughout Study Group number 9's final report, with a special emphasis on what is called a paradigm shift. The paradigm shift articulated in the above quote, namely, is this: the immutable church's propositions regarding Catholic morality deemed rigid sterile and regressive ossification of principles, regardless of the experience of individuals and communities. Well, I can read right through that, close quote, is now replaced by discerning the lived experience of faith with attention to the situations of life, homos, divorced, living in sin, cohabitation, you name it, eunuchs, trannies, with particular care given to those who find themselves living on the existential, social, and cultural peripheries. Yep, homos.
Yep, homos.
Homos.
Hey.
It's coming. They're going to try. Now, I do not believe, and I'm just going to continue burning up rosary trains to heaven. I do not believe that the Holy Ghost will allow the Holy Father to teach this error. But he doesn't have to. Because this fallen, smut-filled, sin and lust-drenched world in which we live wants a permission slip to sin. And they want the Vatican to give it to them. And look, it looks like it's going to happen, that's what's going to happen. I do not believe, and this is just me, I hope it's you too, that Christ and the Holy Ghost are going to allow that to be promulgated as a teaching. So, how are they going to do it? Flowery language that doesn't actually say that you can do it, but doesn't also say that you can't. That's this synodality garbage. That's right, sowing confusion. And who is the author of confusion? Satan. So I just wanted to drop that because people accuse, and they do this passive aggressively. I see it all the time. In the chat rooms, in the signal chats, on social media, on X, they passively aggressively accuse yours truly in this show of not acting all Catholic and stuff enough. And that, well, they don't even, you're not even trying, and how can you do this, and you did this and that and the other. First of all, it's not as easy as you think to do this 3 hours a day, 3.5, and keep people's attention. Secondly, we have never stopped defending the good, the true, and the beautiful and the Catholic faith. And again, we're broadcasters who are Catholics. I do not speak for the church, and I don't want to. I can speak about what the church speaks about. Well, I can do that, but I am not speaking on. This is the line that we don't cross. You can't say that about so many of your favorite quote podcasters. They put themselves on the other side of the line. I won't do it. I refuse. I'm not going to do it. If you want to do it, you can do it, but I'm not going to do it. So I want everyone to understand it's not that we're not following this stuff. And that we don't talk about it, because we do. It's a slander for you people that say this, to say that we don't. I'm just not going to put myself on the side of, oh, it's Mike Church's teaching. I don't have a teaching. The church has a teaching. I have a duty and a responsibility and basically a requirement that I conform my mind to that reality, and that's what I'm going to do. But if someone comes along with an opinion on that doctrine, and they claim that they're speaking on behalf of Catholicism and the church, and that can't possibly be, yes, I'm going to say, no, you can't do that. So, a lot of people talking about the synod thing. Look, I think you're totally justified in what you think is going to turn out, and that you fear it. Do not fear. Fear sin. And just pray that it doesn't happen. All right. Shop in the store, shop.mikechurch.com. You can make donations still to the Crusade Radio Guild. It still is a nonprofit, believe it or not. And it still needs your support outside of buying gold and truth tickets, although the guild is the benefactor. So be on the lookout for emails. We're going to tell you how to get gold and truth tickets before anyone else can.
at 20% off because we love you and you're a Founders Pass / Dude Nation member. So, again, if you unsubscribe from the emails, I can't help you. You can resubscribe by going to mikechurch.com/email. But you will not, if you tick that unsubscribe box, you're not, and I know hundreds of you did, you're not going to get the email. And I'm not going to send it out in any other fashion. So, have a safe and blessed remainder of the weekend. Today is the Feast of St. Boniface here, and I'm pretty sure we have a octave of, well, no, it's the octave of Trinity Sunday, but Corpus Christi was yesterday. By the way, we couldn't make it to New Orleans because there was an accident on the causeway. It was down to one lane. Somebody started a fire, an actual explosion. And Mitchell and I just did not feel like driving the other way around an hour and 20 minutes. We probably would have been late anyway. So if you made it to Corpus Christi processions, put your pictures, because people like in pictures, in the official Mike Church Show signal chat. Oh, don't know what that is? Send an email. I'll send you the join link. I am KingDude at protonmail.com. If news breaks out today, heaven forfend, we will break in. Have a safe and blessed remainder of the day and of this wonderful weekend that's coming up. And if we don't see you between now and then, remember, check your email and check your spam folders if you want those Golden Truth tickets at 20% off on Sunday. God bless you all. And as the program comes to a close, we know you have a choice of what to listen to and what to watch. I want to thank Steve Cunningham for being our guest and Sensus Fidelium for joining us in this year's Golden Truth Ticket. I think that's going to add a great twist to the contest that we haven't had before. So, until next time, God bless you and Mary keep you.